It's Thursday, April 9th, 2020. On today's show, we have we're talking quarantine with Disney. This is Free with Me. Yes. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am excited. Happy Thursday to you. It is 11 a.m., a little after 11 a.m. here on the East Coast. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in. The chat is already buzzing. I love it. I'm excited for today's show. If you haven't heard, Yeehaw Bob, the Yeehaw Bob, legacy, legend, the man is known around Walt Disney World. He's been on property for over 20 years, is going to be on the show later on today. We are also talking quarantining at Disney. We're going to pose this question in a little bit, and maybe I want you guys to think about this as well, and you can put it in the chat, is where would you want to be quarantined at Disney? And we're going to do it two ways. One, you're completely alone, and two, it's a normal day at Disney. All the cast members are there, shows run, rides run, but you're the only one in that area of Disney. It can't be an entire park. It's got to be a section or an area, so start thinking about that now. I mentioned the chat a lot. This is how you get involved. You go to YouTube. I don't know where you're watching, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Periscope, Crowdcast, on the garage door of your neighbor's house. But if you go to youtube.com, you can find our chat. That's where we're interacting with everyone. And a big hello to everyone there in the chat. I see a ton of our regulars, our WIGS members, and a lot of friends. So thanks for everyone who's already tuned in. At this point, I need to bring in my man, my better half in this show, Mr. Eric Wolf. How you doing, Eric?
Good. How are you guys? Hey. I'm glad to be here.
Great.
Glad to be here.
I also give a shout out, the voice of God himself, who's not on the screen. Kevin is here as well, running the show for me. So thank you so much, Kevin. Kevin, can you hear me? What's new and exciting, Eric?
Nothing much. I did my show 2 days ago. Did it on Tuesday. Or wait, was that yesterday? No. What are we on?
Today is Thursday.
Yeah, I'm a little off.
I'm way off. I'm totally off. Oh, and you're frozen.
Oh man. Am I frozen?
There you go. You're back. It could be mine. It could be my screen. The Wi-Fi here has been bonkers ever since this whole thing started because everyone is home in my development. So I'll give you background. My apartment complex is basically all cast members, all entertainment from SeaWorld and Universal. There's not a single, I don't know if there's a single employed person left in my entire apartment complex. So everyone's home and on the Wi-Fi. So it could be me. How'd the show go? You want to talk about it? Let's talk about your show for a little bit.
It was good. I think it was cool. I loved the fact that everyone in the chat was also giving us their input and giving us their answers to the prompts. I gave away a Chef Figment Pop. I got a lot of emails, and yes, one person did win it. One person got every single one of them, and I'll be contacting you today to get your information to send that your way. But yeah, and we're getting another show. So we're getting another show. Awesome, we're going to be doing that on the 15th. So get ready.
I love it.
It'll be cool.
So what time on the 15th?
So same time. It's going to be at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. on the 15th. So for all those watching, that's the Wolf Den with Eric Wolf. I like the idea of giving something away, aka bribery. I might have to give something away. I need to start thinking about giving something away for sure. So we have Yeehaw Bob on the show today, and we're going to talk about him later on. But are you familiar with Yeehaw Bob? I'm sure you are.
Okay, so the funny thing is, I know who he is. I've seen bits and pieces of his act. I've never seen the full thing. So I honestly don't really know much.
It's so funny. The more I talk to, I would say like local people, or even a lot of people that work for us, or Disney regulars. They're like, yeah, I think I popped in, or I've walked by, or I've gone here and there. But anyone who's been on like vacation makes it like a stop. Like the people I talk to, who I think would have no idea who Yeehaw Bob is, are like, oh, we love Yeehaw Bob. We go every trip. We make it a point to go see Yeehaw Bob. I know that was me, like, especially before I lived here. Like, we used to come down 3-4 times a year for the last 3 years before I moved down here. As I'm sure, in case you don't know, I was a late Disney bloomer, for all those who don't know. I came down when I was like 7 or 8. Then not again until I was like 21 to visit a girlfriend who was on the Disney college program. And then when I got here, she broke up with me. And then I cried at MCO at the airport and flew back home. Vowed to never come back to Disney again. It was the most unhappiest place on earth. No. But then I had another girlfriend. We came down together. Her uncle worked for Disney, so they got us like free passes for a few days. We were broke. We were like 23. But we came down to Disney. We had a good time. I was like, oh, Disney's pretty cool. But I did it for her. I was on her schedule. I did like no research. I'm like, yeah, it's a kids park. And I had a roommate. I lived in a fraternity house. And my roommate, who by roommate, I mean, we literally shared a room. Like we had a suede curtain that blocked our room in half. Him and his, and oh my God, I have to say this. That roommate actually just had a baby 2 hours ago. Their second child, Avery Marie, was born 8 pounds, 11 ounces. Kristen and Mike Halfie, I love you guys. So this is the story. Hey, so congrats. Kristen and Mike Halpy have been together since we were in college. And Kristen's a huge Disney fan. She's DVC, she was AP. And Mike used to go down with her all the time. We'd be like, we can't believe you go to Disney all the time. Like, you're such a loser. What is there to do as an adult? Now I'm on WDWNT. I'm at Disney like every week. I moved down to Orlando. He teases me all the time about that. But so yeah, like they used to come down all the time. So when I did my research, I'm like, I don't care about Disney. And then I came down. So I'm not sure if anyone else knows, but I was married and divorced. But I came down to Disney for my honeymoon. And that's when I started planning stuff. And I realized how much there is to do at Disney. That was my first Yeehaw Bob. That was my first everything. Jelly rolls, my first boardwalk, the first time I did like anything was that honeymoon trip. And then I realized there was so much I didn't do when I started doing the research. So ever since then, and that was, yikes, that was 2013. So that's when I started coming down at least once or twice a year up until I moved down here in August. So anyway, that's my little bit of background. But Yeehaw Bob, yeah, I had to see him. It was like on my itinerary. Like, and I, again, before I lived here, I was a rope drop until I pass out kind of guy. And as you know, or another thing I have to talk about, I'm rambling, but I go hard. So I go from, we would get up at like 6 a.m. We'd be rope dropping. We get there half an hour to 45 minutes before the park opens. Rope drop rides, fast passes, go back to the room, hang out, or grab lunch somewhere, go back to either a different part or a park, go all the way to fireworks. And then like one night would be Jelly Rolls, one night would be Yeehaw Bob, and one night would be like Disney Springs or miscellaneous or a special event. Like I would sleep an average of like 4 hours a night. Like I felt bad. Like even Lauren, my girlfriend now who lives with me now, when we started coming down, and I got her into Disney too. I'll tell that story in a little bit. Nice. But she would like, when are you going to sleep? Because I would type out itineraries. And she'd be like, you're a psychopath. Like, we're 30-year-old adults. Like, stop the madness. I say 30 because I'm 35, and I try to be younger. But, I need to address something. I went to the store yesterday to re-up on the Saronas, and Publix was out of Saronas.
Ooh. Okay.
So Lauren and I were like, what are we going to do? And I said, let's revert back to the Claus. And they had 2 different packs. So on today's lineup, the chat is going to be choosing how we make our way through these. First up, the beautiful blackberry. Nice. A fun flavor here, tangerine. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
What's this? All right, this is a classic, the natural lime. Okay.
Yep.
Then we have, another fun flavor here, watermelon. I'm not a big watermelon fan, so we'll see. I'm going to give you a real review. You know how, like, do you know Barstool Sports at all?
No.
Have you heard of this at all? So I'm a big sports guy. It's like Disney and sports. I try to stay well balanced. And Barstool Sports, the main guy, the owner, does a pizza review everywhere he goes. He goes into local pizzerias all around the country or the world and does
Love that.
one bite and reviews the pizza on a scale of 1 to 10. And it's become like a huge thing. He's
Yeah.
reviewed like thousands of pizzerias. There's T-shirts, one bite, you know the rules. And he just gives like literally like a 45-second review, but it's like this fun thing you look forward to. That's what I'm going to do with seltzers, I think. So anyway, going back to my little tower here, we have Ruby Grapefruit, which is the worst flavor of all time, but I'll drink it today for fun.
Yeah.
We have Lemon, which is a new one as well. We have the Mango.
I don't mind that one. That one's pretty good.
And then the Raspberry. I built a tower. This is 3 high now. Ooh. All right, so we're going to work our way through. I'm looking at the chat real quick. Immediately, I just see Black Cherry, which is fine because Black Cherry is my favorite, although I haven't had the most. I'm going to start with the Black Cherry. We're going to work our way through, and I'm going to rank these today, too, as part of this program. So we're having fun today. I'll loose outline until Yeehaw Bob gets on the show. So I cut you off before. I have other stories to tell, too, but, I mean, I forgot what we were talking about because I get very excited. Very quickly. What were we just talking about?
I'm not even sure.
So you grew up here, correct? You've been here your whole life?
I grew up in Miami, so not far.
Okay.
And I just came up a lot with my family. I remember coming as a little kid. I have photos and stuff. But honestly, it was I never stopped coming, kind of thing. I just always used to come. I come from a family that was, fortunate enough, even when my parents split up, I was able to come with both sides of the family. So yeah, no, that's and it's funny because we talked about this in my show. That's how essentially how my love of Disney just was kind of just blossomed just from the start, really. I fell in love with the characters in the movies first, and then it was just such a magical place that you can basically see both things, everything. So it was cool.
And you said, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why Toy Story has a special place for you, is because that kind of got you through, I think, some of those hard times.
Yeah. So when my parents broke up was when I was 1995, just around that year. So when I saw that movie, I was able to see that movie with both my parents. And I think that might have been the last thing that I remember seeing both of them, together, kind of thing. My parents now get along and stuff like that, but like back then it was just a big thing for me. So yeah, I hooked onto Toy Story.
No, that's awesome. I have that in some respect, whether it's to something, whether it's a movie, a place in the parks, or just showing up to the parks, or hearing a music, seeing a parade or a fireworks show. I know for me, I was, again, like this big tough guy, like Disney's ridiculous, and I saw Wishes, and I didn't know why, but I started crying. I had no idea why. I just started crying. And I was like, why? Like, and you know this, everyone knows this, if you watch the show and you watch me on other shows, I haven't seen almost anything. So like, I knew the music, I guess, and some of the music I probably went right over my head. But it's not like I even identified with the movies, because I didn't know some of the movies. Like, I knew the classics from when I grew up, like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King. Like, those were my jams. Saw them a million times as a kid. And again, I was born in '84, so my generation's a little different. But yeah, it's just, there's something about it that just pulled me in, and then I was like, oh man. Going back, so I was saying before how I brought Lauren down. Lauren was just like me when we started dating in the summer of 2017. I was working out east in the Hamptons in Montauk on Long Island, DJing 6 nights a week. It was a crazy time. I was living out there and commuting all over, doing gigs in the city and everywhere else. And she was awesome, but we just started hanging out. And the summer was winding down, and I told her, hey, my birthday is August 29th. I try to get out of town for my birthday. I'm just weird like that. You would think I would love attention, but I don't like it on my birthday. I don't mind it, but so the year before I was in Disney for my birthday, and I loved it. Like, I was at the World Showcase, which was my happiest place, and it was the best birthday ever. So I told her I was doing very well financially at the time, too, things were going very well. I said, whether you come with me or not, I'm going to go fly down to Epcot for my birthday. Would you like to come? You go back to school the following week, because she's a teacher. Do you want to come with me? And she's
Okay.
like, I'm not really a Disney person. I know like you like it. I've seen your Facebook and stuff, but she's like, I'm not really a Disney person. I was like, all right. And then she's like, but if you're going to go, it's a vacation. She's like, do you think I'll like it? I'm like, yeah, like you'll definitely like it. She's like, all right, this is really big for me because I have a fear of flying. So whatever. And that was the bad news when I had to tell her that I was going to a bachelor party the week before. So I was going to go direct from New Orleans to Orlando. So she would have to fly by herself on our first trip. We've only been hanging out for, a few weeks or, a few months, whatever. But like we were casually, just kind of hanging out. I always tell her, she says when we started dating in, I think it was like late June. And I say like, well, our first trip to Disney was August. So I consider it August. So make a long story short, she came down to Disney and it's, we compromised. I was like, oh, we can just stay anywhere. We're never going to be in the room. And she's like, well, if we're doing Disney, I've only been here once as a kid. I kind of want to stay somewhere nice. So we ended up staying at Port Orleans Riverside, actually, where the Hop Hop plays. And again, we were never in the room, but it was our first night. And I'm going around, I'm giving her fun facts because at this point, I was listening to WDWNT all the time. Was I working for us yet? Oh, I was. Yeah, I was already working for us. But like I was like listening to like thousands of podcasts and everything else. But so I was like giving her all the fun facts. Like this is where the Beatles and this is Nixon and this is Forced Perspective and this is look at the Tower of Terror behind Morocco. Like all the kitschy fun facts everyone knows. And she was having a good time. But then that first night I took her to see Happily Ever After. And she started crying, and I'm like, I did the same thing. She's like, don't look at me. And then the next day we woke up and she was like, I get it why you love it here. And then she bought an annual pass the next day. And I was like, yes. And we went back 4 times. So that was August when we spent 3 or 4 days there. We did Epcot for my birthday. It was awesome. We went back in October for the Halloween party. We went back in December for the Christmas party, and we went again in January for Festival of the Arts. So like we went like 4 times in 6 months. As that effect, I freaking love Disney for that reason.
Yeah.
All right, I've been ignoring the chat. Go ahead, I'm listening. I'm going to read the chat real quick.
I was going to say I find it so like funny, but at the same time so meaningful. The fact that you cried during Wishes. And knowing like you have no, at least like knowledgeable recollection of these movies or these things. And it's like Disney transcends like 1,000 things, man. Like just like that, like it happens all the time. People just come and they're like, I don't even like, why am I crying for this? Like, what is this? Totally. And it's like, it's just magic, man. And
it happens like all the time in the craziest of moments. Still to this day, I could be at Disney and like see something, or just like I'm gonna start crying even thinking about this is the worst party when I start crying at 11 a.m. This is the worst party with Pete. I'm going to a party and cries. But like no, I'll watch a father watching his kids, and I'll see that look in a father's eyes, seeing how much fun his kids are having, or seeing his kids, or even a mother, and then watching a big thing for me with parents. And just like the first time they're meeting Mickey or hugging Mickey, and I took my nieces and nephews down, and like even for me when they hugged Mickey or they go on the Little Mermaid ride and they're pointing to things, like that is like those moments you cannot put you can. Disney puts a price tag on it, but for me, like you can't put a price tag on that. Like it's so pure, and there's only so many of those moments in your life where like there's just total happiness. I'm a huge fan of Bert Kreischer, comedian. And he has a whole bit in his comedy act of, I won't cheat on my wife. And he goes, and the whole moral story is like, no matter what happens, he won't cheat on his wife. The punchline basically is like, and if a woman starts trying to talk to me and we're in a crowded bar, I'll just yell, I don't cheat on my wife. And usually she walks away. And he goes, because I just can't put myself in the situation. I'm not strong enough. But he said the whole reason that it is, and the reason he never, ever will, is he said there was just a moment where he had his 2 daughters in his bed, his dog and his wife. They were all in their pajamas, and they were just laughing, having fun in their bed one morning. And the smell of breakfast was in the kitchen like that. And he sat back and goes like, it's never going to be better than this. This moment is going to be the best moment of the rest of my life. This is what it's all about. Yeah. And I feel like those moments are, for a lot of families, created at Disney. And it's just, there's so many of those moments that are like super cool. again, we're getting really emotional this week. Normally we're talking about drinking and where to party and hang out, where we go after hours. I'm in a sappy mood today.
No, that's all right.
I should full disclosure, a few people in the chat know. Oh, is my mic not working? Can you hear me all right? I'm just reading the chat now. Oh, okay, cool. If the fountain is on, I don't know, chat. Let me know if I sound weird. Or Kevin, do I sound all right? Oh, I like that in the chat. It's Peter and the Wolf. We talked about that too. I love that. What was I just gonna say? I forgot. I'm looking at the chat. Hi everyone. I have another shout out. I was gonna save it for later on with Yeehaw Bob, but maybe we'll do it twice. One of our biggest fans and one of the people that I am a huge fan of. She is one of my favorite people in the entire world. She is a Wigs member, Mandy. You know Mandy, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Today is Mandy's father's birthday. So I have to give a huge shout out to Mandy's dad. I believe he's watching today, but this is for you. Happy birthday, Mandy's father. Happy birthday to you. I hope your birthday turns out right. So I'm giving this song to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Happy birthday to Mandy's dad.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Super exciting. I believe he's turning 32 today.
Very nice.
Pete should give away a case of White Claws. I should. I'm afraid to mail White Claws state to state. What's funny is, so I'm working with lining up talent, and we're going to preview next week's show. I already have a guest lined up for next week, and my guest for next week is based in Hollywood, and I had to talk with her management team and whatnot. And she's got certain rules of things she can and can't do because she does work for Disney still actively and ESPN, and she's, just to give her, I mean, everyone will see it in a few minutes, but she's a voiceover person. She's voiced, she is the voice and the face of the Black Widow Bride in the Haunted Mansion. Her voice can be heard in the Tower of Terror. Her voice can be heard as Jessie in all the Toy Story attractions around the world. She's done tons of animation. She's the voice of ESPN, most of their previews for the NFL draft, part of the interruption. So where we recorded some promos and stuff and some commercials for this week. And on one of them, I had her read, "Party with Pete is brought to you by White Claw. There's no laws when you're drinking Claus." And she does it, and then she goes, "Wait, you have to erase that. I can't endorse White Claws." She's like, "I'm contracted with a bunch of other people. I work for ESPN." So I had her change it to brought to you by WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news. But it was so funny because she read it, and I'm like, I can't believe she's doing this. I thought I got away with it. I was so excited. And it's awesome because, like, if anyone watches Part of the Interruption on ESPN, one of my favorite shows, has been on the air for years. She's the voice that kind of intros and goes in and out during commercials and the outro. And their show is always like, "Part of the Interruption is brought to you by like Red Stripe. Please enjoy responsibly." So like I wanted her to do the same thing with the Claus, and she did it exactly. Like I felt like a little kid at a candy store. I'm like, "Oh, this is so exciting. She's doing my show and she's doing White Claws, and it's so cool." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, you can't use that." I'm like, "No."
You gotta ask her if you can put it as your like ringtone or something.
I know. I have to have her record some like private stuff just for me. I'm like, I promise I will not put this on the air anyway. So next week we do have Kat Cressida. As I said, she's done a lot of voices. She is the face and the voice of the Black Widow Bride and a bunch of other really cool stuff. I will tell you all about her a little bit later in the show. Yeah. So let me see what else. I just saw this is the funniest story. I don't know what part, but it probably involved me crying, so that's fine. It's okay. I'm okay with that. Courtney, the first time I met Pete, he gave me a 20-minute spiel about why I need to be an AP. That is a fact. Everyone that comes to Disney, I don't know about you, but I just feel like AP is such a good value, especially now that like park tickets are like $150 a day. That like there's so many different levels of AP too. I mean, I just go for the top one because for an extra $100, whatever. I live 2 miles away, so it makes sense for me. But I mean, like, let's talk about this really quick. I'm going to convince everyone who's watching right now why you should be a Walt Disney World annual pass holder. If you go to Walt Disney World twice in any 12-month span, you are guaranteed to save money, and here's why. Regular tickets are, I think, like now like $110 a day. Park hoppers are like $160 to $180. So let's even round down and say that they're $150 a day per ticket. If you go for 4 days, that is $600. If you were to go for another 4-day trip, that'd be another 600. That's 1,200. That's the cost of the AP. Now with the AP, you also get free parking, which is what, $20 to $30. You get 10% off food. You get 20% off merchandise. You get, what else do you get with the AP? All your free photo pass photos. So that's $150, $200 for all your photos. So if you add that to your 2 trips, now you're up to $1,400. With the parking and merchandise discounts, you're up to $1,500, and food discounts. The AP value, if you went on 2 4-day trips or even less, you'd be spending around $2K. I feel like that you would spend normally, and with the annual pass, you'd be spending $1,200. I just saved you $800 for being an AP. Like, everyone should do an AP. It sucks that they just raised the prices pretty big. I also have no idea. It doesn't make sense to me that the local one is cheaper than the away one. I feel like people who have to fly here should have a cheaper AP than like me and you can drive to Disney. Like, I can get in the car. Like, I'm going to Disney this year.
Yeah.
Like, you should charge me more because I'm using it more often. I'm abusing your discounts. Like, I'm going to your parks more often. I'm clogging up your line. I'm the worst. So like, charge me $1,500 and charge someone who's out of state like $900. But instead, my annual pass this year, well, I got the 15% renewal, and then I got the Florida state discount. It was like free. I think it was like $800, $850, and it's with the water parks. But I paid that off in the first 6 days I was here.
Yeah.
Also, I highly recommend everyone get Tables in Wonderland if you don't have it, or at least know someone who has it. For those who don't know, Tables in Wonderland is a discount card that gets you 20% off all food and alcohol at almost every Disney restaurant. What are we looking at?
Look at the chat.
Oh, snap. I'm excited. Whoa! Mandy! 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 You're a fine girl. I know that's Brandy, but we're doing it for Mandy. Oh, Mandy, you're the best. Thank you so much. I should have plugged this.
Thank you,
I'm supposed to do it in my show notes. I'm so far off my show notes, but we're having fun. Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you. So Mandy just put a huge donation in the super chat on YouTube. Thank you so much, Mandy. You're the friggin' best. And if you want to make a little donation, we see it. It does help the shows. Right now, we are on a bare bones budget here. A lot of us are volunteering our time during all of this because this is a wild situation in time. We want to make sure we know a lot of people are at home getting a little stir crazy. I know I am. I have cabin fever for sure. So we try to bring you a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of fun every day through our WDWNT live series and our regular scheduled shows. And that is very, very generous. Thank you so much, Mandy. You are awesome. So the super chat helps us out a lot. Also, another way to help us out, and a lot of people in the chat already are members, and if you're not, you want to jump in, is our WIGS. It is our WDWNT Inner Globe Society. It is run through our Patreon. You can go to Patreon /WDWNT. For as little as, I believe, $2 a month, you can get in on a lot of extras and bonuses. You're in our inner circle, if you will. Last night I did Park Center. We did a post show just for WIGS members. We send you stuff. You get core bucks for our prize wall. Tons of Walt Disney World merch. There's my face right behind Tom right there. I was definitely 20 pounds lighter right there. Yeah, look at that. I'm on a big weight loss journey right now. This was so much fun. This was Pleasure Beach. There's the Adventurers Club. I'm just going to talk about this graphic. I was there that night, too. Me and Tom, I got Tom a little saucy that night, and I sang Happy Birthday to Walt Disney on the bus coming back from Magnus Lodge. This was a great presentation. Yeah, he's like, we needed some hot chicks for the show. Oh, so funny. We do lots of cool events, and also if you're a WIGS member, you're the first to know. We do special events for our WIGS members at our live events as well. You can see a lot of the events here. We've done stuff for the 30th anniversary of Hollywood Studios. We did Stage 89. We did Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. The farewell for that. That was amazing. Probably one of my favorite events. We did Pleasure Beach. We've done Wreck the Halls, our Christmas event. We have a lot of fun. So yeah, if you want to go check it out, WDWNT on Patreon, join the WIGS, and you get to hang out with us more often, and you become a part of the family. I hang out with a ton of our WIGS I've met Mandy a ton of times. She's the sweetest. She gets to
Nice.
come to, she comes to a lot of our live shows, even though she's from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, and just a ton of people I've met. I mean, I'm hanging out with Courtney and her husband, Tyler and Micah are like now good friends of mine. They've literally have come and stayed in my apartment when they've come to Walt Disney. So, and it all started with us meeting with them. We were Wigs members, and I was at an event, and we've just maintained a close friendship. So yeah, join the Wigs, and you get to hang out with us more often. It's super cool. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Party with Pete. We were talking about, lots of fun stuff. Crying, emotional times at Disney, And we're doing the party in reverse. We're already wasted.
Hey.
It's 2 a.m. We're in the corner, and we're just exchanging stories like, why I love Disney, man? Wishes. Happily ever after. How do you not cry? Am I right?
It's your party. You can cry if you want to.
Thank you. We're working. We're still making this show happen little by little. This again was someone I didn't even come up with Party with Pete. Someone else did, and I kind of ran with it.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. We're doing it every week. This is crazy. I don't know if he was delusional, overtired, but even Tom said he liked the show a lot and wants to see it continue. So what is going on? When Tom gives me a compliment, I don't know what kind of new drugs he's on, but that is crazy. But if you are just tuning in, we there's a lot of platforms you can watch us on, but the main chat that we watch is YouTube, and that's where we're chatting with everyone today. That was super cool. Again, Mandy, thank you so much. Let me scroll back up. I did miss a lot of chat here before I go back to my other outline. We're having so much fun. So where we go? Oh yeah, funny story. Cool. DPO in the house. Oh, Mike Liner's in the chat. Wow. I got so as I mentioned earlier, I was in a fraternity in college. DPO, Delta Psi Omega. I actually had a tattoo. Should I show the tattoo? I have a few tattoos. It's a party. I'm gonna do it. It's my show. Let me give you a little background. So I was in an awesome fraternity. It was a local fraternity. And then we did cross over. Now we're technically Alpha Phi Delta, a part of a national fraternity. We kind of filtered into them right after I finished school. But yeah, DPO was a great time in college where I met a lot of my friends. Obviously, my roommate Halfie and my other roommates who are all awesome. But we got tattoos one night. Probably not the best idea. There was a little bit of drinking involved. But if you put my fraternity letters on top of each other, it looks like it's a man. So I decided to add a little bit to a fraternity letter. Let's see if I can angle this camera down a little bit. Hold on. Oh, God. So it's a little man, but he's drinking a beer. There he is. The Delta man. Oh, this way. Yeah. So that's the Delta man. So anyway, shout out to Mike Lina watching the show. Nice to see. He was one of the older guys when I was pledging, and one of the guys I looked up to. He's a really good dude. So thanks for watching, Mike. Oh, I messed this whole camera up. Oh, boy. It's going off the rails already. It's going off the rails. I'm only at one White Claw. This is why I should have. What am I doing? All right, let's fix this.
We might have another person coming into the party soon.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's what the party's all about. I love when people start walking in. I'm going to fix this. Sorry, everyone. All right, that's good enough. So anyway, what's up to Mike Line? I promise I'm going to catch up in the chat, and then I'm going to get into our topic. The first time I met Pete, he gave me a 20-minute spiel. Yes, so you need to be an AP. Everyone should do that. White Claw Thursdays are back. Continuing with social awareness and making sure I don't touch my face. Every time I touch my face, I will be taking a drink. Feel free to do it at home as well. And again, this is a weird time we're living through, so no one's judging you if you want to have an early drink with me. It's crazy times. It's crazy times.
Yes. I'm not drinking right now. I have water and I have lemonade, but I haven't drank the lemonade because I'm like, wait a minute, I have raspberry vodka, and I might put that in the lemonade. And
what?
We take the commercial
That's a great idea. Oh, that's
right?
another. I got natter days this week too. I got to get a natter day. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, that sounds delicious. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I might be a little brain dead today. So after Bark Center, I did the post show last night, And then I had to wait up for a call because on the West Coast, my special guest for next week, I had to talk with her manager, her assistant, and then her. And then we had to literally do recordings last night, but she wasn't done with her Passover Seder until like 9:30 or 10 her time, which was like 12:31 our time. So by the time I got off the phone with her, it was like a little after 2 a.m. Then I did a little show prep for today, hoping to fall asleep like doing show prep. And then around like 3:30, I'm like, man, I got to get to bed. Laid down, could not sleep. I ended up falling asleep. Lauren came out to do, she works, she teaches kids in China. Well, during this break, she found some extra money as a teacher. She's teaching kids English in China. But since their time is off, she does it from like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. So I was trying to fall asleep. I thought it was still like 3 or maybe 4. She came out at 6 a.m. and she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what time is it? She's like, it's 6 a.m. Still didn't sleep. I fell asleep at 7 and then woke up at 9 to get ready for the show. So I'm on 2 hours sleep.
Yeah.
So I might not be making sense. If I'm not making sense, just hit me over the head or just tell me to shut up. If Wigs had a White Claw flavor, it'd be banana. It's banana. Yes. I wonder why. Do you think? People like banana flavored alcoholic beverages. I wonder why. Banana is a super easy fake flavor to like duplicate. Because this is all like. I'm assuming I'm drinking straight chemicals every week. Because how is this so like healthy? I don't know. That's not the right word I'm looking for. But I mean, like even the Sarayas are like 0 carbs, 0 sugars, like no calories. Like how is that possible? I'm just drinking straight chemicals. Sure. This is 100 calories and 2 carbs. So at least like it's somewhat. At least they're a little more honest, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know how this is possible. But yeah, I'm literally at the thing. I'm gonna review every because now we were at Publix, which is the supermarket chain down here in Florida. I just tucked my face.
Got a drink.
Social. And there was, I'm not even kidding you, Eric. There was like 19 different branded versions of seltzers now. Like there's Bud Light seltzer. There's Corona has the Coronas, which I like, just their seltzer Coronas. Then they also have Frescas, which is also alcoholic water seltzer. There's Spiked seltzer, which they were kind enough to give me a bag, but I feel bad. I will thank them for the bag. Spiked seltzer, but it tastes like it's gross. There's so many different ones. So I think I'm just going to have fun and just start reviewing all of them. But anyway, where do you guys get your shirts? They're so cool. Oh, I love your shirt, the broke one. You talk about your shirt.
Oh, hey. So actually, this one, I also work at a retail store. I got this one at Think Geek. Yeah.
Nice. Actually, I have to grab, because it's still here from last week's show, and I'm not sure if she's watching or not. But so I get my shirts from all over. I don't have one specific spot. I just like really cool shirts. But I have to thank Callie again. I'm going to give her another shout out. Callie is the owner and designer over at the Magical Apparel Company. Pizzow! Let's see if I can get it with the lighting. I got lights, bright lights right here. Oh, wait, there it is. Magical Apparel Company, magicalapparelcompany.com. She actually reached out to me a few weeks ago and said she liked my t-shirt game on a lot of the shows I'm on. And she had her own Disney t-shirt line. So I went and checked it out. I loved a lot of her t-shirts. She sent me a few. She was awesome. So I would go check out her site for sure. But also we use TeePublic. I've gone to obviously Etsy and a bunch of other places. But yeah, this is this week we got the Sleeping Monk Triple L from Spaceship Earth. It better come back. Please come back. Let's see. Let me get caught up in the chat, and I promise we're going to move on to our topics. Pete's Liquid Therapy here. Yeah. You know what's funny is like I don't think like I've really like so sounds terrible. I don't think I've like drank during this entire quarantine. Like I'll drink on the shows because I think it's fun and I feel like I'm social. Like I can't go to a bar or a restaurant. I can't go hang out with friends or anything like that. I can't go to a Disney park and like drink with people. Like so when I'm on all these shows for WDWNT or some other shows that I'm on, I feel like that's the only time. It looks like I'm always drinking to everyone, but this is the only time I am actually drinking. Obviously, these don't do anything for me. Like I said, I could drink today. I'm going to try and polish a few of these off, see if I feel anything. But I have a high tolerance. But yeah, I kind of just drink with you guys. You guys are my hangout. That's my social. That's why I party with Pete. We're having a good time.
Ooh, can I plug I'm gonna plug a friend's T Public, because her things are pretty cool on T Public. She has a lot of Citizens of Hollywood stuff, and I love Citizens of Hollywood.
Same.
But she has some like other stuff, and if you guys go to T Public, it's the shop is called It's a Jilly Holiday. So
ITSA JILLY holiday. It's a Jilly holiday with t-shirts, Billy B.
But she has some cool stuff.
Awesome.
So go over there, support her.
Oh, speaking of t-shirts, this is on my other. I gotta show you. I might buy this t-shirt, and I'll show you guys first. This is gonna be terrible. I'm gonna get this on the screen, but I saw this while I was scrolling last night. Hold on, am I going the right way? Carol Baskin sardine oil should do the trick.
Oh my god!
Trip to Florida. I have to get this shirt. That. It's so good. Oh, I forgot I had this over here.
I might be getting this shirt. It's funny that you just showed that. So this is a company, Attractioneering, on Instagram, and they have this shirt, and I'm like, I love this.
Oh, that's so good. The Dr. Seuss. I want to do a Disney shirt. I'm going to talk to a designer or somebody, or maybe Callie over at Magical. Also, I should mention we're coming out with our own merchandise soon. So once we do that, I have to stop plugging everyone. But we don't have it yet, so I can still plug everyone. So we have our own website or merchandise line. But I really, and maybe for WDWNT we'll do this, but I need to have someone do this. You know, if you've watched Tiger King, which I'm assuming the whole world has, you've seen where he says, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Like, I'm never going to financially recover this. I want to do that like a Disney crossover somehow. Because, you know, like all the dads have like, you know, most expensive day ever, you know, or broke or whatever. Like the I'm never going to financially recover from this. I feel like it's such like a Disney dad t-shirt.
It is.
I also haven't eaten
so good.
In around 18 hours. So Lauren made me a pizza. So I might eat on the show. I told her I didn't want to, and she said, you're having a party. Who doesn't eat pizza at a party? And I think she's making a good point. So I might be gross and eat some pizza throughout our show today. All right. I have to catch up with this chat because I want to say hi to everybody. Jennifer Sweet said, I made my husband a Disney annual pass holder for our first trip to Disney. I love it. You have to do that.
Yeah.
It's just financially responsible. It is fiscally responsible to be an annual pass holder. Although this year, I will say with when everything comes back to quote unquote normal, I feel like Disney's going to have a lot of specials and promotions. So keep an eye out. Maybe not.
Yeah, right.
Right away. David, the secret White Claw drinking facility, aka Pete's apartment. Yeah, that's accurate. I believe David is from New York, so shout out to David in New York, and please stay safe. I mean, you should stay safe everywhere, but since I am from New York, hey, Allison's here. What's up, Allison?
It's just the sky, the roof. There's a lot of things that are up there, but
a lot of things that are up. I'm feeling up today. I'm glad you made it. Thank you. We're just chatting about random stuff. And before we get into our topic, I was kind of waiting for you to get here. So, you know, a little industry. I was vamping. Little vamp.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I'm catching up with the
vampire.
Chat. The vampire. That's so good. So yeah, we're just catching up with the chat. Let's see. I keep saying which my public speaking teacher would be throwing erasers at me. Illuminations holiday fireworks had me in tears every single time. Yes, Sasha. So true. The Illuminations, so that didn't hit me until the day before it went away. So we had an event at WDWNT, Reflections of Forever, where we celebrated the 20-year run of Reflections of Earth. You can actually see it right above my head, right here, where I have the poster. Yeah. And it's signed by John Dorsey, who was the director of the show. The producers of the show signed it. The fireworks technician signed it. The vocalist, Gavin Greenaway, the composer. Everyone was there. We did this huge event. It was honestly such a cool event. I hate giving Tom compliments. Tom Corliss, for those who are new, runs our site here. But man, this event was amazing. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking with the guy who created Illuminations. We're watching the show together, the last ever Illuminations, and we're having cocktails down in the dessert party area at Epcot. And it was like right before the show started, and then I realized, oh my God! And this was at the end of September of last year. I go, there's going to be no more holiday finale. Like the holiday finale and Let There Be Peace on Earth at Epcot was like the greatest thing. That finale, like everyone got chills. If you didn't get chills, you were pronounced dead, and they took you off property. Through back doors, because it was remarkable. Did you guys ever get a chance to see it in person? The holiday send off for Illuminations?
No.
Yeah, I've never seen the holiday one. I've seen the 4th of July.
Oh,
okay, so that's probably completely wild. I think it's similar.
Yeah.
I need to have a bite of pizza because my stomach is making a lot of noises. So I'm gonna take a bite of pizza.
Oh, while you're taking a bite, Mandy just asked what this is behind me. It's a signed photo of Pete Docter.
Pete Docter.
Yeah.
Hey.
Man.
So when Disney Parks Blog did their, I think it was, they did their preview of The Good Dinosaur. He was actually here plugging that movie, but it was right before or right after Inside Out. So he was here. One of the sculptors for Pixar was here as well. I have his autograph somewhere. And then it's so funny because when everything shifted in Pixar, I was like, wait a minute, Pete Docter's now head of Pixar. I was like, I have his autograph.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's
right?
amazing.
I was just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that's what that is.
I love Pete Docter because Pete Docter is a Disney Parks fan. Like,
Yeah.
it's so nice when you get these executives like who are actual fans of the parks like we are, and not just like, oh, this was nice, we'll work it in. And I mean, I'm a business guy, I went to school for business too, but like, I love that where there's that emotional connection which Pete Docter has. And like, before him and even John Lasseter, which, by the way, I'm going to bring this up with Yeehaw Bob. In my research for Yeehaw Bob, I didn't know it said somewhere that Yeehaw Bob and John Lasseter are friends.
Oh,
wow.
I didn't know. I'm going to ask him about it today.
Nice. Yeah.
Going back to the chat. Oh, yeah, Courtney and Doug. I am the machine. That's my Bert Kreischer when I was talking about before. I've met him a few times. He's really cool. I'm seeing him. I was supposed to see him May 1st down here, but obviously the show got pushed, so I'm seeing him in August. Hey, Mary Kate, just talking about quarantine for a month. We're all a little bit emotional. I know. My feelings and emotions are, I feel like in a washing machine. Like there's super highs, super lows. Yesterday, I felt like it was like the happiest and also saddest. Like today, I woke up an hour ago. I was miserable. But then I started the show. And you guys are here, and everyone in the chat, everyone watching. And we have a ton of people watching right now too. So thank you for everyone who's watching. I see all you guys. We got a few. We have a lot of people watching between here, Facebook, and Periscope, and Instagram, and everywhere else. Wherever you're watching, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And if you are watching on a replay, which you're not now because we're live, but if you are, tune in live. You can hang out with us and talk in the chat. Thursdays, 11 to 2. Mm-hmm. Oh, I should make an announcement. And it's not official, but I want to push the show to a noon start and make it noon to 3 instead of 11 to 2. And I'm going to try and start that either next week or the week after. I have some people on the West Coast who have reached out to me, and they're right. An 8 a.m. start is just ridiculous for them. For us to start. Like, I'm not waking up at 8 a.m. during quarantine, so why should I ask them to? So we're going to try and push it to noon. Plus, it makes sense. Why? I'll start my party here at noon. I don't want to wake up early.
What time have you been waking up?
Honestly, my sleep schedule is so messed up. I normally in like my life pre-quarantine would wake up because I'm a night owl. So I would wake up. I usually go to bed around 2 or 3 at night, and I normally wake up around 7 or 8. Since this quarantine has started, I've become like what I should have been doing my entire life. I'm going to bed at like 11 or 12 and waking up at like 5 and 6. It's been insane. Now that's not the case today at all. But it's just like weird. Like, I guess like just being indoors, like I can't really do anything. Like, I just with like the sun. When the sun goes down, I'm like, our day is done. We shall eat, watch Schitt's Creek on Netflix, and go to bed. Like, so yeah, I just have dreams of like, ew, David.
I love that show so much.
It's really good. I'm enjoying it as we go through.
Seen it.
Yeah,
watch it, Eric. Please watch it. It's so
literally
good.
characters
It's
ended, right?
Yeah, they just did the final season. Yeah. The characters remind me of my friends in New York. I have friends in New York who are literally. They are the character of David, Alexis, and his boyfriend on the show. And it reminds me of my friends in New York, and it just makes me laugh so hard because I'm just envisioning my friend. Let's see. Wishes was the best. Yeah, really good. Although as much as I love Wishes, and I was on Team Wishes hardcore, I still think Happily Ever After is like one of the greatest productions of all time. I have a friend I have a friend who does a lot of production stuff. He does lights and sound for some big shows. He's also a big shot. I don't want to give too much away, but he's a big shot in the New York City Fire Department. So he works a lot with like the Macy's fireworks and like any kind of pyro in the city, and oversees that and everything else. And I took him and his family down to Disney this past December, and he's just like a regular, what I would call like a regular non-Disney dude. He was like, this is cool. He's got 2 kids, 2 young daughters. He's like, this is fun. And I'm like, wait until you see Happily Ever After. I'm telling you, like, I think it's better than Macy's, over the Hudson, I think, or the East River. I'm like, you gotta see it. He's like, all right. And I was like, I don't want to overhype it, but I was like telling him every night, like, we got to see this. And then I took him to not Illuminations first, Epcot Forever, which was obviously, everyone knows, I think that's a dumpster fire. But when he saw Happily Ever After, he goes, that was, and even he was like choked up. He goes, that was the most, he goes, I still don't even know what just happened. He's like, it was like overwhelming. He's like, the projections with the lighting guys, with the sound and how it surrounds sound, and the tree effects, and then the fireworks and the timing and the use of space, because he's big into all that stuff. And he goes, and also like the storytelling and watching my wife and my kids. He's like, this was something I'll never forget. And I was like, yes, I did my job. Also, big shout out, because we're talking about the FDNY. I have a lot of family that's FDNY and NYPD. And the stuff they're going through right now is so brutal. So I think just as a friendly reminder, I know everyone watching right now already does this, but like, we got to thank our nurses, our doctors, our EMS, the EMS workers right now. I have a cousin, and he's a lieutenant in the FDNY on the EMS side, and what he's going through right now is completely insane. And the numbers in New York aren't being reported properly. Like, they are picking up in the last. I mean, I don't want to be a downer at this party, but they are just literally picking up dead bodies in homes. Like, it's the craziest thing ever. So it's nice to be here with all of you, with everything going on in the world, and people have to go to work and just see this every day. And we get to come here, talk about Disney, laugh, have fun, drink some White Claws, and eat some god-awful pizza.
Did somebody make that pizza for you, or did you is it like a frozen pizza that you microwaved, or?
Oh, this is a frozen pizza, but we didn't microwave it because I'm not that version of trash. This one in the oven. But it hasn't
gone to that level yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I wanted to throw this as a frisbee, I could make it halfway across my leg, like right now. This is, I don't know. It tastes like the cardboard is so stuck to the bottom of the pizza.
What's it like going from eating New York City pizza to now you're eating this in your house?
You have no idea. I'm not sure if it happened or not, but like I think I woke up saying, can I have a chicken roll, or can I have a slice or a pie? I was dreaming about New York pizza at Pizzeria the other day. And I was supposed to be in New York. I had 2 trips to New York, one in March and one in April, which both were canceled, obviously. And I have one in June I haven't canceled yet. So like I haven't gotten my fix. I wasn't planning on this. Like, and the way I feel about pizza is the way Lauren feels about bagels. She loves bagels. Like, when we come back to Florida, we pack like 12 bagels into our suitcase.
Me too. I get I go to my mom's house, and then there's this Italian bakery within walking distance. So I never appreciated it fully. But yeah, Staten Island.
Yeah, nice.
And I just grab a dozen bagels, and I leave room in my suitcase on purpose so that I can pack a whole bunch of big New York bagels and some cannolis and all that kind of delicious Italian baked goods. And I come down with it, and that's what half of my purpose of going there is to visit my mom and get bagels.
It's nice that you leave room in your suitcase, because Lauren has a different strategy. What she does is she buys the bagel and she hands them to me and says, "Can you fit these in your bag?" And I go, "Am I supposed to leave some T-shirts here in New York? Am I supposed to be like, well, these pants had a good run?" So I'm the one who has 6 sweatshirts over my shoulder. I look like I have 9 sweaters. I'm wearing 2 pairs of pants. But we have plenty of bagels.
It's more important. She has her priorities straight.
Yeah, right?
She knows what she's doing. Let's see. All right. I promise. Here's what I'm up to in the chat. I'm really trying to catch up. I've just got to Mandy's super chat. That's how far back I am in the chat.
Oh, man. I'll stop talking.
But no, you can talk, please. That's why you guys are here. I literally have, we're off the show outline, but this is fine because I'm having a good time. I literally have built in the beginning of the show, I'm like, banter, have fun, chat. We're at a party.
Yes.
This is when we get to all hang out and just talk. And then we can get into business later on. And then later on in the show, if you are just tuning in, Yeehaw Bob will be joining us in the second half of the show. So stay tuned for Yeehaw Bob. For sure, he's coming up in the second half of the show. Of the legend himself. $1 for each year we're celebrating today. Oh my God, it's 71? Man, he's dad.
So excited.
A young buck. My dad's birthday was in March. My dad just turned 76. The spirit of 76.
Oh.
My dad's losing his mind. So my dad is in a nursing home for all veterans on Long Island. And they have different wings and whatnot. And I called him on the phone. My dad, he has sharp days and days where he's not sharp. But I called him a few weeks ago, right before his birthday. And I'm like, everything good? The whole Corona thing. He's like, yeah, they're taking precautions. We're fine. I called him the week after his birthday. And this is mid-March, or this is maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, anything with Corona, because everyone in there is obviously elderly. You guys from World War II and Korean War and Vietnam War and everything else. He was like, no, but now they're making us stay in our rooms. This is ridiculous, And I'm like, it's for the best, I call his nursing home calls me when they just say my dad took a fall, but he's okay. I'm like, great. I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. The fact that you guys have no cases of Corona, and they're right next to the biggest hospital on Long Island, which has the most Corona cases coming through it. They go, oh no, we have lots of cases of Corona. I'm like, what? My dad had no idea that his place was swimming with coronavirus. And he just no, we're good here. He's so out of his mind. But I have him quarantined, so he's really losing his ish. He's in a room by himself. It just comes in for his nurses and his therapist. He's losing it as I talk to him. But anyway, that's my dad. He's the best. But yeah, my dad's 76. My dad, and a Vietnam veteran. Yay, Dad. Thanks. Let's see what else. All right, so here's what my plan is. I'm going to catch up with the rest of this chat so everyone knows. Then I think we're going to take a quick break. If you want to get ready for that, Kevin, we'll do that in 5 or 10 minutes. Just so I can eat some pizza off camera.
That's how hungry you are.
I'm so hungry. I'm going to take a few bites. I'm going to grab another White Claw, and we'll come back. But before we go, I'm going to finish this chat so we're all caught up. And then we're going to talk about when we come back. Alice, I'm not sure if you saw in the message I sent you, but we are talking quarantining at Disney. And we're going to do 2 answers. One is when you're quarantined completely by yourself in one area of Walt Disney World. Not an entire park. You have to pick an area or a land or a pavilion or an attraction. And that is completely alone for 8 weeks. And you can kind of make your own rules. There's no one there. That's all I'm saying. The second one is you're by yourself in that, and this can be a different area. You're by yourself, quarantined, but all the cast members are still there. You can still go on attractions, see shows, eat the food, drink drinks. It's as if you have that area to yourself for 8 weeks. But it's 8 weeks. It's a long time. So make sure you're thinking on that.
Okay.
The chat can think on that as well. And I'm going to catch up real quick. My husband and I saw them making
Okay.
The biggest problem is Happily Ever After if you're not facing head on. See, I kind of disagree with Happily Ever After. I like watching it. Like I've been on it on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I watch it from the sides and the back. Granted, you don't get as much as the story, but the music is still to me like emotional enough. Like if you didn't see the castle, the score is beautiful and the fireworks work really well. And there's big moments, obviously, in the big sync finish. But yeah, the front of the castle is obviously ideal.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Adam joined our chat because I see a lot of Jumbos.
Jumbo Adam.
Jumbo Adam. That's how I know. I see the onslaught of Jumbos. All right. I think I'm almost caught up here. What? Are you breaking up, or am I? Is my computer? Is it your computer?
No, I think Eric's frozen right now.
Eric, you're frozen. Like this pizza was 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
You're breaking up.
We have to start it.
No.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
We lost him.
We lost you. Come back.
It was nice knowing you.
Please come back. The way you sound is the way I used to try and get off the phone with my mom. I'd be like, and I'd hang up.
Eric's going through a tunnel.
All right, cool. So boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm caught up in the chat. Kevin, if you want, let's do a quick 5-minute break, and when we come back, we're talking quarantine in Walt Disney World. We got Yeehaw Bob in the second half of the show. I'm going to eat some frozen pizza and drink some White Claws. Grab yourself a refill. This is Party with Pete. We'll be back in 5.
Something has stopped us now. I'll tell you how. We're gonna live on through it. Let's stay inside and spend our time taking things in stride. Good times aren't held at bay. Just stay away from the population and wash your hands to kill off those bacterial strands. Now we're trying to keep a little distance. It's for sure our best resistance to making things a whole lot worse. Come on, kids, let's all go down to the sink. Wash those grubby little hands of yours. 20 seconds. You never know, it might just save a life. Something has stopped us now, but don't you fret, it'll for sure get better. We'll soon be hand in hand, going down to Disneyland. Oh, won't that be so grand, though something has stopped us now. Ah-cha-cha.
There's a transportation system running today that has survived millions of foreign tourists without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless, moving machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave it a concrete beam to run on. This is WDWNT's extraordinary motion picture version of Instagram's vertical video, Doors.
I just found out that the doors on this monorail opened while people were riding last week. And you knew it. You knew those doors could open. You knew it was dangerous. But you let people ride it anyway.
Did you see that? Everyone stay where you are! And maybe take some video and make snide remarks!
It's all psychological. You yell Pirates is 101 and people go, huh? What? You yell the doors are open on that monorail and we've got a panic on our hands on New Year's Eve.
Is it true that monorail doors can open without anybody leaning on them?
Yeah. What we're dealing with here is an imperfect engine, a broken machine.
We're not only going to have to close the monorail, we're going to have to buy a whole new fleet.
Bad dreams. I'll build you a new fleet as long as you put my company's logo on them.
Did you hear your father? Stop leaning on those doors right now.
These open doors will swallow you whole.
You're going to need more stickers.
There's 20 people in that car.
25. 3 tons of them with those DCBs.
No blogger's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of doors. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss. Doors. See it before you ride the highway in the sky.
Please exit here.
Are you tired of your monorail always sputtering to a stop?
I know I am.
You don't even have one.
Of course I do. It's the rusted paperweight out in the garage.
Well, if you're like me and my brother, you know how hard it can be to keep your monorail up and running, and that's why we're here to help you fix your monorail problems. So join us, Tick and Tack, the Patchett Brothers, for Monorail Talk every Saturday morning. And hear calls like this.
So, I have this old Mark IV monorail passed down from my grandparents, and I'd like to restore it.
Ooh, a Mark IV?
Yeah, but every time I turn it on, it makes a noise like wah, wah.
Yeah, whir noise, that's not good.
Not good at all. I think that's the coupler unit. Bob Gerd told me about the whir problem back in 76, so was it 78?
It was a long time ago either way.
So we're in the monorail, and the window just falls off.
How's that even happen? What'd they do, secure it with super glue?
More like crazy glue. But seriously, when it fell, did it hurt anyone?
Just a college program cast member, I think.
Well, they're a dime a dozen.
A dime a dozen.
Next caller is Bob from Burbank. Bob, welcome to Monorail Talk. How can we help you?
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller. Let's say I had a fleet of Mark VI monorails. I'm just curious, how long can I get away with running them until they, I don't know, explode?
They haven't already?
I might agree with my brother on this, but that depends on how often you run them.
Oh, all day and every day.
But fairly empty, I assume?
Oh, heck no. They're the gills with people. Just really full.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. In that case, time for a new fleet for sure. Anything else we could help you with?
Well, what do you guys know about gondolas?
So join us for Monorail Talk on your local public radio station. And remember, don't ride like my brother.
And don't ride like my brother.
Bum, 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 bum. We are back with Party with Pete. Oh my God!
I like that. Hello.
Look at this.
Hey.
Straight from Locked In with Eric Morin on Saturday mornings, it's Eric Morin.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How are you, Eric?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm great. I'm just having my lunch break now, so I've been pretty busy all day, but I'm happy to come in here and have you cheer me up.
Awesome.
I know how you do
us.
Party with Pete.
Oh, jeez, Eric.
Hello, Allison. Hello.
So we're
Eric.
going on to only my second Michael. I'm falling behind. People are making fun of me that I'm not drinking fast enough. I mean, what is going on? We're going with Pete next.
I'm on Propel.
Propel, okay. Man, I haven't had Propel since high school. I can't believe Propel still around.
Still on water.
It's just
all right. Well, tangerine. I've never had tangerine. Fun fact.
Ooh. Let's see.
That is not bad. It's pretty good. I want to say, like, obviously it tastes a little orangey, but it's not like big brazen orange. Like, I don't like that. Like I've tried like the Bud Light orange, wasn't really a fan, but this tangerine is not too shabby. All right. Anyway, we're back. So, Eric, I'm not sure. I'm sure you read it on our Slack channel, but we are talking about quarantine. It's appropriate. We're all quarantining at home. We're losing our dang minds. So I thought, I mean, I don't even know what week we're in right now. Week 4, week 5. But we're going to be here for at least 8 weeks. So that was the number I pinned, because you have to think about this. 8 weeks is a long time.
Yeah.
So on Disney property, we're going to do 2 answers. We're going to do one round of the first and then 1 round of the second.
Right.
Is if you could be quarantined anywhere on Walt Disney World property. It can't be an entire park. It's got to be like a land, pavilion, an attraction area. Nothing too crazy, but lands are okay. Where would it be? And I think the first round would be more fun is if the cast members weren't there. What is actually happening right there? That if Disney was like, hey, you can go quarantine yourself in any one area you want. We're not going to have cast members there. We're not going to have entertainment or food people, but there's food there. You can make yourself food. There's beverages. You can make yourself a drink. If you happen to go turn on a ride switch and run the ride yourself, no one's going to be there to stop you. You will be there alone in an area of Walt Disney World for 8 weeks by yourself. So, like the gentleman that I am, I shall go last. Does anyone want to go first?
Before we do this, you said just Walt Disney World?
Yes, I think that's easier. Is that since we are WDW News Today? Because I mean, also international parks. I won't know what you're talking about. Disneyland.
I was just going to Disneyland.
I mean, you could probably do Disneyland. A lot of people have been to Disneyland, but I was doing Walt Disney World. But if you want to mix it up, we will make an amendment. Hold on, let me just write this down. Do we have? The ayes have it. We're gonna say Disneyland is okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Eric. Now you're Wolf. You're up.
Oh, okay. So for this fall, actually, with Main Street. Yeah, I'm gonna go Main Street. You have
Main Street in California. Okay.
No, Main Street USA here in.
Oh, okay, here. Okay.
Yeah. I do Main Street here. Macy's Corner. You have the ice cream parlor. You have technically the Plaza restaurant as well.
Yeah.
You have First Aid as well.
Oh.
True.
Very smart.
You know,
you're doing like Survivor rules. Like you're like this is like.
Yeah, I'm not action prone. I try not to get, try not to do stuff, but just in case, I have all that available. I can sleep on the train.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's parked there.
There's a lot of things. Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom I can play.
Yeah, I mean you can you can try on tons of merch at the Emporium.
Right.
I mean There's a bakery. I'm sure that stuff is still sitting on the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably survive for a while.
There's a lot of
you have the haberdashery. You have a hat shop. I mean, you could have a lot of fun.
A lot of things on Main Street.
Yeah, the fire department. I mean, also, they got the little barn over there. You could give yourself a haircut. You got a barber shop?
The barber shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't think about that, but oh my gosh, yes.
And
you have Tony's.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Oh, you have Tony's too. You have Tony's Town Square. Who could forget?
That's important.
And I would just say, because I said it's kind of like right now where no one's there, there's no cast members. But the only exception is security does go in to raise and lower the flag every day. So like you would have some company from like 6 feet away, and you get to watch them raise and lower the flag every day. You'd probably be in like, I'm assuming by week 7 or 8, you're going to be in a full Little Mermaid costume. Wearing 45 magic bands, ears.
7 or 8.
You're gonna have
been like week 1,
pulling out of your pockets. I mean, also you have a Starbucks there. If you could learn how to fire up that machine, you can make yourself some cool concoctions. I mean, it's not a bad choice. I never even
I'm not
thought
the size
of
that I am.
Main Street.
I never thought of Main
the fact
Street.
that I don't eat.
I was racking my brain. I was looking at all the lands and pivoting. I never even thought of Main Street USA. I like the pick. I like it a lot. It makes sense to me. And you got a view of the castle like every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I'm going to say, I mean, technically that castle, Cinderella's castle, since it's on this coast, that's not in Fantasyland, right? Like Fantasyland's behind it. So you could walk all the way essentially right up to it. Are we saying that Main Street ends at the castle or like at the end of like Casey's?
Well, what if one of us was going to select the Dream Suite to ride this out in? Yeah,
we'll say the hub. We'll say the hub is its own area because you get the castle,
at least to the
like the area.
Or
yeah, you get right up to the end there, the hump, I call it.
So I can so I can wave at someone sweet.
Yeah, you could yell over to, if Eric chooses the Dream Suite, you could just yell over to him like, "Hey!" and like throw him like a Rice Krispies treat from your quarantine area. All right, I like it. Main Street USA at Walt Disney World.
That's such a
where
good
this
one.
is the alone category where you are alone by yourself.
Correct.
I like that pick a lot. Let's kick it over to my fellow New Yorker, Miss Allison. What do you got for your 8 weeks of quarantine alone at Walt Disney World?
Okay, so I am completely alone. I was kind of going back and forth between Africa or Asia. I think I'm going to pick Asia in Animal Kingdom because you have the Maharaja Jungle Trek, and you can go have like a very nice walk through the area. You can go see the tigers. You can go see the bats. And even though that there won't be any
bats during this coronavirus?
Bats are still cool. It's not their fault. They didn't decide, you know what?
I would be blowing through. I would be like, COVID, get away. Like,
I'm not going in with them. They're behind glass.
They're not behind glass. If you've gotten to that exhibit, there's just slats of wood. They are just slats of wood. You can reach right in.
That's fine. They're not the ones that have the virus. I'm probably more dangerous to them than they are to me, to be honest with you.
You're right. They might have the vaccine. If any bat's gonna have it, the Disney bat is gonna have that vaccine. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But like, it's always, even if like I used to work at a zoo at the one of the science centers that I used to work at. I also used to work with animals, so I love animals. And I mean, I could go see the same set of animals all the time because they're always doing something different. They're like sometimes they're being playful. Sometimes the tigers might jump into the little pool. They could, it's fun to watch them eat and walk around and interact with each other. And I think that it would be really nice to see the animals. And it would probably take me a long time before I started getting tired of seeing like this group of animals. So I think that would be really nice. Plus, kind of going with what you were saying with Eric's choice, how security has to be there and they're always raising the flag. The keepers also have to be there to take care of the animals. So there's going to be some kind of individual, and I already know because I've worked with animals and they work with animals. We already have some sort of commonalities. We can have some nice fun chats with each other. I think that'd be really cool.
I like it. I like this a lot.
And the Asia, there's some food in there. You have the Yak and Yeti restaurant. I can go ahead and raid their refrigerator. I can do that and feed myself.
Dude, Yak and Yeti is the bomb.
I like Yak and Yeti. A lot of people don't like Yak and Yeti, but I do enjoy it a lot.
Those people need to.
Oh yeah.
You also have the Thirsty River Bar right outside of Everest. I mean, that is a cool little spot.
Yeah, that's
you got
true.
you got
nice
snacks. You got the ice cream truck right there. I mean, if you want some ice cream.
The truck's
they also
there.
have frozen beverages that are non-alcoholic or alcoholic. So, I mean, this is 8 weeks. You can choose off days, on days. I mean, I like the Asia pick a lot. Plus Everest. You can do whatever you want on Mount Everest. I mean,
yeah,
you can
climb the mountain.
Mount Everest. You can cuddle up on a cold night next to the Yeti if you wanted to. It's 8 weeks in Asia at the Animal Kingdom. I mean, you can try and fire up the motorbike on that pathway over towards the Golden Monkeys. You could do whatever you want. I mean, I forget, you also have Cali River Rapids.
Yeah, the rapids are over there too.
You can finally go yell at those guys who are chopping down all the trees. Oh, there's so much you can do over there.
Fix the Yeti. Yeah. Someone.
I know.
In 8 weeks, you probably could fix the Yeti. You can get some welding materials, make sure that little. Oh my gosh, I love this. You could be the savior that we need. I think it's a great pick. I love the Asia pick. It was one of my finalists, but I'm glad you didn't pick my actual one of my two choices. But yeah, Asia was in my top 5 for sure. All right, Eric.
Okay, so Main Street USA, that was a good one. Good one, Allison. Great one. What I would say is that if you had picked Main Street USA at Disneyland, you could have lived in Walt's apartment, which would have been kind of cool above the firehouse.
It's true.
And if I had decided to do Dream Suite, I have Cinderella's Royal Table to eat at every night, and then I don't have a lot to do. I could swim in the moat maybe, and I could zip line. I could zip line to Tomorrowland.
What are you going to do? It's drained. The only thing you can do is take those. You might be able to finish the painting. You can paint it whatever color you want. It can be like the Stitch's Great Escape grand opening. You could toilet paper the castle. You can paint it whatever color you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. But I'd be wearing that zip line now.
I'm just gonna be like, what's happening?
Am I allowed to ride the zip line to Tomorrowland?
I mean, here's the thing. I would say you're allowed to ride the zip line to Tomorrowland, but you couldn't get off your harness. You would have to just pull yourself back to the castle and then live there. You can't get off and walk across because then you're cheating.
I probably exceed the weight limit anyway.
So you can do it for fun, but then you have to pull yourself back up to the castle.
Oh man,
this all sounds like too much trouble. So I came up with a location that I think would suit my needs fine. I'm going to have to go out to California.
The real answer is going to be
New Orleans Square. New Orleans Square had the old Green Suite above Pirates of the Caribbean. I can eat at Blue Bayou. Oh yeah, and a little joint we call Club 33. So go up to Club 33 for a cocktail every now and then. Haunted Mansion is in play then.
Yeah.
Great view. I guess I could bathe in Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know.
Well, you have the suite. You have the suite.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that'd be a good spot. I have a couple good places to eat. It's a kind of a cozy little area. I have my 2 favorite attractions. What could possibly go wrong? And the weather's beautiful out there.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I mean, you also have variety because, you can do, like you said, Blue Bayou or eat at Club 33 and hang out up there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's 8 weeks alone, so you need a little change of scenery. Yeah. I like it. Also, that Pirates ride, I feel like would be a lot of fun to hang out and explore on your own. There's a lot of – that's a really cool Pirates. That's, I think, the best Pirates in the world.
There's a railroad station there, too.
Yeah, you got the railroad station over there as well. I mean, it's a good pick. And New Orleans is a fun vibe. I feel like if you're having a tough time, it's week 6, you're like, man, I really miss Pete. And then, you're like, well, it's Mardi Gras.
Let's say I get tired of the luxurious suite. I mean, I could spend a night in a Haunted Mansion. I could spend a night,
Haunted Mansion in New Orleans Square?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. I didn't even factor that in. That's ridiculous. This is a good pick. This is a good pick.
Yeah. So, and I could take my cocktail from Club 33 and stroll over to my Haunted Mansion for the night. I could, I don't know if I'd sleep on the train like Eric would do on Main Street. I'm a little too bougie for that. But I think it'd be a good time. And I would probably spend a lot of time on Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion too. Just what else am I going to do? I would be a little bit lonely.
Because you would have to operate it, right? Because there's no cast members there?
Yeah, you'd have to slam on and just jump on the ride.
Yeah. It's a boat.
Okay.
It's got gravity. Just make sure the lift is on at the end. You got to go back up at the end. But I don't think that'd be too tough. I don't know about the train. I could probably figure out how to operate the train, but my boundaries are pretty,
Yeah, you'd have to tuck and roll right off of it or figure out a way to slow it down. Or drive it yourself. Throw it in reverse and just go 4 feet. You have to just, that's it. That's all you get to do. You'd have to put in all that work. Don't they like do the like steam over there too? Or like they actually fill it with the steam and they like fill it up and it seems like a lot of work.
Sound like work. It's starting to sound like work.
Yeah.
I think I'll stay away.
But I mean, again, it's 8 weeks. So like, for me, the reason I like 8 weeks is because like it goes from fun to like, could be brutal. Like being anywhere on the planet alone for 8 weeks is not fun. I mean, you might say like this is paradise, and I guess if you're a loner, maybe you might like that, but you have to look for things to do. So I'd probably be like week 6, like, well, I become a train conductor. Like in my diary, I'd be like, today I became a train conductor. Fired up the old steam engine. Couldn't get it to run. Tomorrow's a new day. All right, I like that pick a lot.
There's a lot of good choices out there. There's plenty left for everyone's imagination.
Yeah. So for me, this was a tough one. My 2 answers, I was actually swapping back and forth, and they were my favorite 2 in either one. Even though these were fantastic answers. So I went with, for being alone, Pandora, the world of Avatar, Disney's Animal Kingdom. For a few reasons. So one, food options. You have the Satuli canteen, and they have a ton of different food options. So I'm assuming there's a lot in the fridge because you can do veggies, chicken, pork. You could do rice. You could do noodles. There's 4 different sauces. I can constantly be mixing up my meals and not get bored. They also have sangria, beer, and a full soda area over there, so I can have my water station in the back. They have real silverware, so I can sit myself down to a nice meal. And since I'm alone, I can take it around and I can eat all over the land. I actually envision myself with a nice chicken ball while firing up the Navi River journey, having some chicken while going through the Navi River journey.
You have 3 minutes to eat your chicken before the ride's over.
3 sounds a little too much.
Journey, I love, and you said like you wouldn't sleep on the train or like a boat, like that's where everybody's falling asleep. I would love the rock of a boat to rock me right to sleep. That would be amazing. I'd be on Navi. It's in the dark. The soundtrack is perfect. I pretty much listen to that soundtrack to fall asleep anyway. I love Disney music loops, and Pandora at Night is one of the best ones. I put that on, it'll put me right to bed. Also, and then you have obviously Flight of Passage, and I think it'd be fun to ride that from every single seat on the ride. And I would definitely figure out how to do it, and I would ride from every single spot on the ride. I might not even like throw the straps on. I might have some fun. I might lay across 3 seats. I might get a little crazy with it.
I picture Pete in that laboratory. In the laboratory where they have the guy like suspended.
That's what I was going to say. The queue. I would have so much fun in the queue. I would play doctor. I'd be like, scalpel. I'd be playing with all the experiments. To me, it's also like broken into like, I would call them bedrooms for me if I'm there for 8 weeks. So one night I could be in that dark, like cave looking room. The other day I could be in the laboratory. The next day I'm in that big open air, what I call the AC box. It's like the coldest room in that line. It's amazing.
And
it's
now
like
there's even a
-6
bathroom in
degrees.
there.
Yeah. I would explore that whole building. I would learn the fire escapes. It shares a really with Navi River, so I would try and figure out a way to figure out both. I would learn all about this area of the land. I don't know if this is part of it because it's backstage. Yeah, so they also have the floating mountains. You have the drum circle. I can work on my drumming skills. If I want a frozen beverage or an afternoon snack, I have Pagu Pagu, where I can have a frozen margarita or a nightcrawler, or I can have a little lumpia. Whatever. I can adopt a family of banshees. I can adopt all of them. I can have them all. Give me all the banshees. I can make cool bracelets. I would put up more. Like, the decorations in Pandora would double, because I would start making more of those straw and beaded decorations all over Pandora. I would have the best time. I would swim laps. I wouldn't even take boats. I would swim laps around Navi River. I think that'd be fun. Like, swim by and just be like, hey. And then like, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool. I have a nice restroom. Also, and like I was saying, I don't know if this is part of the land, but I'm assuming it because I'm going to say it's just right on the other side of backstage, is I want to wear that exoskeleton costume and walk around in the big exoskeleton guy. And just like for a day, be like, I am king of the world. Like, and just have a good time. I'd be stomping around. I'd be trying to fit onto Flight of Passage in the exoskeleton. I'd be having the best time. So,
yeah.
And of course, at night, the whole land transforms at night. So, like,
Yeah.
it at least would be a change of scenery for 8 weeks. I wouldn't be seeing the same exact thing, and like night would fall, and I could go back to my journal and say the sun has gone down another day. Yeah, and all the land is interactive. I would try to find every single hidden interactive thing. I'd be touching and putting my fingers in every thing I could. I mean, that sounds terrible, but every plant or thing I could find. Yeah. So my answer.
Messages. You could do messages in a bottle and put them in the water to send them down to Allison, who's across the park.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
I would figure out a way
perfect.
to like,
Eric.
do that banshee call so she knows I'm like still alive. Like you hear like.
Oh, it's
She's like the
wait,
bat.
Asia, you have the
tiger,
birds
and, like, you
show.
do
I could tie messages
Yeah.
to the feet of the birds from the up show, and then they
And
can
the
send them
bats.
over to Pete.
Please just send them on a bird and not a bat. I don't want bats in Pandora. I'm trying to
No, a
avoid
bird.
bats.
Just a bird. Just a bird.
I'll train the birds to send you messages.
All right. So now our second half of this challenge is with cast members. So you are the only one in the land, but it's a regular day at Disney. So the shows are running, the attractions are running the way they should, and not us, Jimmy rigging them. You have shows, you have the bars are open, they're making a full drink menu, the restaurants are open, they have a full menu of everything they normally serve. They're serving it from 6 feet away or whatever, but you have full reign of this land or pavilion, but it's running like a normal day at Disney. So we can go the same order. Eric, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna go with my passion. So I'm gonna go to California Adventure. We're going to Pixar Pier.
Oh.
Yeah. I have the Lamp Lounge, so I can be getting some nice things from the bar there. The menu at the Lamp Lounge, I've never been, but looks really good. I have the Ferris wheel of death, so I can ride that when I feel scared, or when I feel that I can brave something. There's games,
yeah.
So I can be playing all those carnival games.
Right. And you have Toy Story Mania too, right? Did you say that right?
Yeah, Toy Story Mania.
You would get the highest scores.
Yeah,
every day.
Every day.
Oh, yeah.
Just every day.
Like you could legitimately, like, when this quarantine is over and you people show up, you have like a full beard, and you have like Pixar carved in your arm from like a steak knife. Like you have Andy on the bottom of your foot that you gave yourself a self-inflicted tattoo. But you're gonna be like, guys, I got 1.6 billion on Toy Story Mania. They're like, how did you do that? You're like, I played for 8 hours a day for 8 weeks.
That's so true. But there's a couple things to do there, and I will never get bored. I can get some chicken from the Poultry Palace. There's a lot of things. I definitely will not get bored. There is a few things for me to do. Oh, Incredicoaster's there as well.
Oh, that's right. That is such a fun ride. I would ride that every seat.
Yeah.
I would ride
Just
it.
every single seat. Just like climb the whole coaster. That's my pick.
That's right. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, you could like just hang out in the tunnel and smell those cookies. I like
go
it.
get
It's a
one.
good pick. It is fun. It's a big land, so it's a good pick because I feel like there's a lot inside of Pixar Pier, so it's a good land. There's a lot happening over there, and it's waterfront. And I'm assuming, like I said, shows will run, so you could probably see World of Color.
World of Color,
I mean,
yeah.
You have to watch it from the backside. But hey, you can see the backside of water without going to Adventureland or the Lamp Lounge. That's right.
I can go to the Lamp Lounge and I can watch it from there.
I like this pick. All right, Pixar Pier locked in. Allison, where are you being quarantined for 8 weeks with full everything running?
Okay, so I don't know if this counts or if this is cheating, if it's like too big of an area, but technically it's a land. I picked World Showcase. Oh, I
will give you, all right, so because I said or pavilion. So those are pavilions, but I will say, if you want to keep your selection, you can choose 2 pavilions and combine them together, but they have to be next to each other. Otherwise, you have to go to your next week. If the World Showcase is cheating, I would be there every single day for the rest of my life and have no problem.
Okay. Let me think. Okay, so there are these next to each other? Now I'm suddenly drawing a blank if these 2 are next to each other.
I will do another one.
Yes, okay.
Norway,
I know
China.
what I want.
Okay, here we go.
All right, I'm doing America and Japan.
Ooh, good choice.
Okay.
Okay.
You stole part of mine.
Oh, sorry. All right. I would pick America because it's absolutely huge. We went, everything, shut down during the Flower and Garden Festival. So technically, if it was open with all the full cast, I would still get some musical performances at the theater. So that would be very entertaining. I don't know most of them. However, still, that's very entertaining, and it would change up, every week or so, or every couple of days, right? Then you have the Voices of Liberty. Beautiful. Love them. That theater is absolutely massive. It's gorgeous. You have the show there. You have the store there that's kind of has like all the art pieces. That's very nice to kind of walk around and look at. They have huge bathrooms. They have a Joffrey's cart, which I actually really enjoy. Then if you go to Japan, you have, what was it?
Yeah.
I said there's a good Joffrey's cart, and all the bees. If you wanted honey, you could just start. You have a nice collection of bees, so you have a source of honey, which is a natural sweetener. I'm just saying. It's a great choice. Go on.
Then you go over to Japan, and they've got 3 table service restaurants there, including Takumi Thai, which is wonderful. Ooh. It's a really good quality restaurant there. And I would eat in all the different themed rooms, the paper room and the water room, which would be really lovely to do. And I do like their quick service. I do like that little area up there. You have the drummers. Well, maybe. So can we pretend that the drummers are still around?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I'm going to say
we're being very realistic about these.
Quarantine, or being realistic, that was our last day. But they didn't have time to get the drums out, so you can play the drum yourself.
That's true. Okay, the drums are still there. Okay, yeah. I'll teach myself how to play them. And then in the Mitsukashi store, they have so many different products that are going to keep me entertained for a long time. They have a whole lot of books. They have a lot of books. They have a lot of manga. They have a lot of history of Japan, which is very nice. They have a lot of different things where it's teach yourself how to hold origami. Yeah, I could get my own oyster.
I would be there all the time and I'd be like, it's 7.
Yeah.
Where's your home? Where's your home base? Where are you setting up? Where are you sleeping? Where's your home?
Where am I
within
sleeping?
These 2 lanes? Yeah, your nightly. Is it Club 33? It's Club 33, isn't it?
Is Club 33 in there?
Yeah, it's in the American where the old Chase Down.
Then yes. There.
Or you can sleep where I already sleep all the time, the American Adventure. That's right.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
Let's say if you needed to do some writing, you could go into Thomas Jefferson's loft, and write alongside him. Yeah. Great. I like it.
I love it.
That's a great pick. A lot of good food in Japan. And then if you want to mix it up, you can't have that all the time. You go over to America. And they're very opposite pavilions for me. So I like that a lot, especially now with the addition of the Regal Eagle Smokehouse. You could have barbecue. You can go over, and then you have 3 different restaurants in Japan, plus the quick service. You have like Serenity. You can go by the waterfalls. You can feed the koi in the morning. They got that really expensive Japanese restaurant too. You can go in there and be like, "Give me the works." Eat at all the different elements, the water and the stone. Oh, and you can learn. We were talking about the products in that store. Yeah, you could do bonsai. You could try different sakis. You can learn what half those products are and just have fun tasting all that weird food. And we have no idea what it is.
I love it.
Oh, I like this a lot. All right. American Japan sold. Eric Morton, what do you got? And again, I know you were going to pick 1 billion because you were following the rules. You can do 2.
But here.
American Germany, right? I like it. Go ahead.
But no, I'm gonna. We've already done half of that is America. Half the appeal is all the places there are to eat there, but adding the beer garden. So I'm gonna go to the Magic Kingdom, and I'm gonna go to Adventureland.
Ooh, this is my number 3 choice.
Yeah. So again, sticking with one of my themes, you have a Club 33, right? You have that little
I like it.
Elevated patio where I can lounge out there with a cocktail at night and look at the castle. Imagine someone else painting it. I could maybe send smoke signals over to Eric Wolf over on Main Street.
He's over at the first aid station on Main Street, in case you cut yourself exploring the Swiss Family treehouse.
Right. I have that. So I could sleep in one of the bedrooms of the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse.
Yes.
I could ride Pirates of the Caribbean. I could go to the Tiki Room. I could ride the magic carpets. I have Orange Tree Terrace. I have the market on Dole Whip cornered. I have Skipper Canteen. Jungle Cruise. I think I have it all there, really. Adventureland is be tough to beat. The food options are somewhat more limited. Skipper Canteen and Club 33, unless I'm allowed to go in, like, there's that backside of Pecos Bills, right?
Well, you can eat at Pecos, but you can eat at Tortuga.
Yeah, Tortuga.
Yeah.
So I have those options. I have, the Pirates League is shut down. I could go in there and probably still give myself a haircut. I don't know if they have barbering tools in there or not. But I don't see a downside to Adventureland, and I wouldn't put the cast members out too much. I'd want to ride rides every now and then, but I just think it's a nice setting. I would turn off that camel that spits on you.
I would turn that up to the max. I'd have him spitting every 6 seconds.
Only for my shower every morning. Just for my shower.
I'd have him spitting all the time. I'd be losing my mind. I'd be talking to him every day. He'd be my best friend. Yeah. You also, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but did you mention you also have the Pirate League still? So you can go on adventures. Yeah. And the Skipper Canteen, I like this pick a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was my number 3 pick, Adventureland.
Yeah, so 33 puts it over the top because unfortunately, I'm just one of those. I'm not going to be able to go 8 weeks without having a cocktail every now and then. So I can't go to I can't go to Tomorrowland and just eat ice cream and eat
I'm
lunching pad.
With you 100%. With you 100%. You make a lot of good points, and I'm going to use those same points in my pick. And I'm going to say you guys all made excellent choices, but after a long deliberation, I do feel this is the greatest land to be. And that is Africa at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Oh,
so I was nervous, Allison, when you were saying Africa or Asia. And let me tell you why. Let me just walk you through. You forget how much is in Africa. So one, there is also a Club 33. A brand new one that just opened. You have your own Club 33. As you meander by, you have a pretty nice bathroom right there. Yeah, whatever. Then you have the Lion King show, which, again, it's running. I can go in there and watch whenever I want. Who are they going to pick for volunteers? Me. Who's dancing, having a good time with Simba? Me. I might become friends with these guys after 8 weeks where they let me be one of the monkeys. I might be jumping on trampolines. I might be spinning fire. I might even be a ballerina spinning in the sky. The world is my oyster. So the Lion King show is amazing. Then as you walk around, beautiful, you have the Harambe Market, but then you have the Dawa Bar. I got a full bar right there. And then also more food options. I have Club 33, but I can go inside to Tusker House. And I have these great meals. And if I'm down, it's a character meal. So I can hang out with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, have a great time. Walk out.
Yeah.
I get to watch the acrobats who are just hanging out outside doing tumbling. I might even join the guys. Learn a few routines. Be a base. Maybe I'll be up top. I'll be a flyer. I don't know what they call them, but I'm just doing cheerleading terms. I don't know. I got another bathroom right there. Then I have all the craftsmen. I can make beads, wood carving. You see, I like hobbies. I've thought about this. There's a coffee shop. I can get a morning quiche right across the way.
Oh.
I can go walk to the train. I can't take it, but I can go walk to the train. I'm saving the best for last. I'm going to make a hard right. More food options. The Harambe Market. Everything's open.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I have different food options every day. It's fantastic. I make my way back around the corner. I have a great view of the tree. I have the drums there, so I can, like I was drumming in Pandora, I'm drumming again in Africa. And then the best part is you have the Kilimanjaro safaris, which is different every day. And I will be missing that human interaction. I will be on this ride probably most of the day, every day. You might find me just sleeping underneath a tree next to a giraffe, or maybe running with the wildebeest, or maybe finally doing what I've always wanted to do and putting the Okapis sponsored by Xerox and building that sign myself. I would have so much fun. At night, I would go try and like play hide and seek with the ghost of the forest. The bongos. I'd be best. I'd get to know the lions. I wouldn't go too close. Also the cheetahs, way faster than me. I would again, like maybe I would do some tours. I would do the Caring for Giants. I would do the Wild Africa Trek. I would be having a field day. The safari would be amazing for me. And I also have Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. I'd get to know these silverbacks. I get to hang out with the zebras. I would start naming every animal, and I would be like, oh, that's so-and-so, and, there's Jake, and so Africa is the winner for me of where I'd stay. I think these are solid lists, so just to recap, if we were completely alone, no one around, no cast members, just us in our solitude, Eric Wolf said Main Street USA at Disney World, Allison said Asia at Animal Kingdom, Eric Morton said New Orleans Square Disneyland, and I said Pandora at Animal Kingdom. And then with cast members, with shows running, with attractions running, restaurants running, bars, Eric Wolf said Pixar Pier at Disneyland. Allison went with America, Japan, and Walt Disney World. Eric Moore went with Adventureland at Disney World. And I said Africa at Animal Kingdom. I think these are solid choices. The chat seems to like a lot of these as well. And with that being said, I can't believe how well I timed this. It is 12:55, and that is the time that Yeehaw Bob is going to be calling in.
All right.
So if we can just take a quick 5-minute break, we're going to bring Yeehaw Bob in, and we are going to be singing. I'll be dancing as well, and I'm going to be asking him tons of questions. I cannot wait to talk to Yeehaw Bob. So please stick around. When we come back, the man, the myth, the legend, Yeehaw Bob Jackson. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Woo!
Nothing can stop us now. I'll tell you how.
Yeah, we're gonna run through
I think Kevin fell asleep. Kevin, can you hear me? Kevin! Well, while we wait for Kevin to take me to commercial, I moved on to the mango, everyone. So now we're up to mango. And by the way, you guys are right. The tangerine did taste like Ecto Cooler. Good point. And I would definitely be like the bird lady in Home Alone with those banshees. I would look like the bird lady in Home Alone, too. I would just be blending movies together, too. I'd be like, toppins. There's
just banshees and just feeding them crumbs.
I'm taking rice from Tatuli and I'm just throwing it at the banshees. Take it.
I love that so much. So perfect.
Kevin! Save me! Unless Bob's already here. Maybe he's working with Bob. I don't care. I can hang out.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe he's uploading Bob.
No, I'm trying to. They're pulling the software.
I need to break him before I talk to Bob. What? Kevin?
The software is not playing nice. Hang tight.
Oh, the software.
Hey, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you tonight on News Tonight.
Get back to work.
See you Saturday. Yep, lunch is over. All right, guys.
All right, sounds
day.
good, Eric.
Bye,
Thanks
Eric.
for joining us. Farewell. Sivako. All right, so while we work on the software issues, we can just chat it up a little bit. I can take a little look-see at the chat that we missed. Someone said Cars Land. I think that would be a really cool spot, too, at Disneyland.
That's nice.
I think it is home of one of the greatest attractions ever made. You have a ton of food options. You also have Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters. You have Mater's Ride. I would also for sure jump in one of those cars, 100%.
Right?
You have all the cozy cones, so you can eat all the different
Cozy
ones.
cone.
I love that.
Oh, breakfast at the Cozy Cone every day?
flows.
Sure, I'm in. Oh, by the way, I know I broke my own rule. Someone was very, very. This is a good find. When we did the top 7 lands on News Tonight, I did pick the World Showcase as a land, but because he told me land on only lands, I did say rule pavilions count because World Showcase to me is too easy. Like if you could do the whole World Showcase, who is, I don't know, at least me, I would be there. That isn't a quarantine. That is when I die. I'm assuming heaven is just God puts me in the World Showcase and says everything's free. Have a good time. It's all you. And I'm like, what? And what about the shows and the entertainment? He's like, yeah, it's all here. This is your world, Peter. And I'm like, really? Thank you, Lord. And I'm like, will Sergio be here? He's like, yes, he will. All right, let's go to commercial.
Oh, almost.
Welcome back to Party with Pete right here at WDWNT. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed our first half of our show. But I think it's time to get to the reason we are all here today. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I am a huge fan of Yeehaw Bob Jackson. He is a destination to himself when you go to Walt Disney World. You must go see him. And I'm going to tell you all about that and why in a little bit. But he's here. He's ready. I'm going to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend himself, Yeehaw Bob, everybody. Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, everybody. We love you, Peter. Yes, we do. Love you, Peter. Yes, we do. Love you, Peter. It's true. Oh, Peter, we love you.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you for inviting me on to WDW News today. A big shout out to my good friend, Mr. Eric, Miss Allison, and my good friend, Mr. Peter, and all the folks who say thank you for being with us today.
Oh, Bob, thank you for being here. This is so exciting. You have no idea how excited I am to have you with us today. This is a true honor and a pleasure. I want to get to know all about you, but let's, I guess, start at the beginning, and I want to do some music and some songs, too. We're a very loose, open concept here on Party with Pete. We're just having a good time. We're giving people that feel-good vibe, working their way through this quarantine. So, Bob, how did you become Yeehaw Bob?
Well, it just kind of fell into place. I just love to entertain. It's my passion. How many people do we have watching today?
Right now we have a few hundred live, and probably by the end of the show we'll have around 4,000 or 5,000 total.
Well, we're going to sound like the Mormon bait and tactical crier. This is exciting.
Oh, sure.
I would like to do a song right now and invite everybody to sing along. It's an easy one. It's one of my very favorite Randy Newman songs. You got to help me out. I want to hear those golden voices. You got a friend in me, sing it for me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles. I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we see it through. You got a friend in me, sing it, Allison. You got a friend.
You got a friend in me.
Yeah. Nobody has more fun than we do. Help me out. Let's go. You got a friend in me, sing it for me. You got a friend in me. When you go love the head and miles and miles in your warm soft bed. You just remember old Bob said, you got a friend in me, sing it out. You got a friend in me. Other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am. They're looking too. None of them will ever love you the way that I do. Just me and you. And as years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me, sing it for me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend. You got a friend. Sing it to Allison. You got a friend. Can't forget Eric. You got a friend in me. Oh yeah. Nobody has more fun than we do. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Thank you for inviting me on to the show. Nobody has more fun than we do. We're just getting wound up. Here's one of my favorite songs, but I need some help. Let's go. I'm the king of the swingers, jungle VIP. I reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man, come stroll right into town. Be just like those other men, tired of mucking around. Sing, ooby-doo, wanna be like you. Wanna walk like you, talk like you too. If it's true, and ain't like me, cuddling to be human too. I don't try to keep you mad, I'm here to deal with you. What I desire is men to fly to make my dreams come true. So give me the secret back, clue me what to do. Give me the power of men's with fire. I can be like you. Sing, ooby-doo, wanna be like you. Wanna walk like you, talk like you too. You see it's true, and ain't like me. Cuddling to be human too. It's all you, Peter, you take it. I need some help. Repeat after me. Addy, 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 addy. Addy, 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 I'm the king of the swings, jungle VIP. I reached the top so we can talk. That's how I me. So give me the secret, man, God. Clue me what to do. Give me the power of men's with fire so I can be like you. Sing, ooby-doo, wanna be like you. Wanna walk like you, talk like you too. This is true, that ain't like me. Could be human too. Could be human too.
Thank you. There we are. Bob, we lost your video. We can't see your beautiful, we can't see your hair.
Peter, you're a lot better looking than I am.
Gosh, that's not necessarily true. I don't know. You are a Greek god, my friend. All right, I'm gonna give you a break now that you're in the dark. I have to ask you. So is it true your hometown's over in Ohio, right? Over in Cambridge, Ohio?
I grew up in a little town, Cambridge, Ohio. I did. I grew up in Cambridge, southeastern Ohio. Went down to Cincinnati, went to college.
Yeah, over the
studied music at the University of Cincinnati, right? And music composition student. Yeah.
Very nice. So from college, I know that before you landed at Disney, before you even landed over at Port Orleans, you actually worked at the Diamond Horseshoe at Disney too, correct?
I did. I came to take even farther back. My wife's a singer, and we were living abroad. We'd spend half our year in Europe, mostly in Scandinavia. We were living over in Norway, and my dad sent me a note that said they were auditioning piano players downtown Orlando at Rosie O'Grady's, which was part of Church Street Station. So we moved. We came back to the United States, and I auditioned for that job in 1992. And some of the horn players in that show band, it was a show band. We had an 8-piece band, Can Girls. Wow. It was a big show. And some of the players there were involved in the Diamond Horseshoe. And they suggested I audition. And I did. And I got to, as a sub there at the Diamond Horseshoe about 1993. And so I've been really with Disney since then. And that was a great experience.
You also did Universal and SeaWorld too. Was that before the Diamond Horseshoe, or is that at the same time-ish?
No, I've been knocking around Orlando for a long, long time. That was a different that was in addition to all the other work that I was doing. I was at Disney the same time I was playing over at Universal.
Wow.
I'd play over there on my days off.
So you're at the Diamond Horseshoe. That's your gig. You got a bunch of you're gigging around Orlando. And then I believe it was back in 1997 where you got the call to go over to the Cotton Co-op, which is, I guess, now that we call it the River Roost.
I was playing at a big dueling piano bar, and one of the subs there, he was playing out there at Port Orleans Riverside, and he was getting ready to move to Las Vegas. He said, "Bob, why don't you come and audition?" So I auditioned for that particular show. It wasn't even a show. It was a tiny little, sleepy little bar. It was just a holding room for the dining room next door. There was no show at all involved in there. And I walked in there and looked at the room and decided I could probably try to make something out of it, And so I got that job going, and I've been there almost 20. It would be 23 years in May if we were still working.
Wow, that is incredible. I have to say, so just from my personal experience, I'm new to the Orlando area. I moved down here in August from New York, and we've spoken about this a few times. I believe you performed and you've been out in Nassau County on Long Island, because when I talked to you after the shows, we've talked about this before. You travel all over. I mean, you are like me. You are an avid traveler. How much of that is work, and how much of that is just you loving to travel?
Both, and probably I'm always ready to go. Last year, I traveled solo across 7 provinces of China, all from Beijing. I traveled by myself all the way over to Lhasa in Tibet, and I joined a group of other solo travelers, and we made it as far as the base camp there at Mount Everest. That was a big adventure. It was my second trip to China, and I love to go. It's been my pleasure and my passion to be able to perform for so many people at so many different countries. I've played in Peru, played all over Brazil, I got buddies up in Alaska. Wow. I got my toothbrush. I'm ready to go, but I don't think anybody's traveling for a long time now.
No, and you also were just in the Virgin Islands, which is am I right?
Yeah.
Earlier this year.
Yeah, I had a great time. I always wanted to get down there since I was a young man. I wanted to go snorkeling down there in St. John, so it was fun. We got to go down there and snorkel all over the island. That was a hoot.
I was going to say, when you said I was a good-looking guy, I saw those pictures on the internet, and you are a svelte, good-looking young man, my friend. Do you have a workout routine, or is this just singing and dancing? It's 6 nights a week.
I got up. I work out every day, and before I got here, I put 12 miles in on the bike trail before this little show.
Wow!
And I'm going to put another 10 miles in this afternoon. So I keep real busy. Have to.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're so high energy and you're doing it, I guess your schedule before we went out to this break here was Wednesday through the weekend. So is it 5 nights a week or 4 nights a week?
4 nights, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday there at Port Orleans Riverside.
That's right. And then Sunday, and then also I should mention this as well, because for those of you who don't know you, you are an extremely charitable man. You also play for local churches here in Orlando on Sunday. And also, you're at Give Kids the World. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Give Kids the World and your other charity work that you do.
I've been there. I've been performing at Give Kids the World probably almost 10 years. It was a small little place when I first started playing there, and now it's a great big resort, it's wonderful. It's been a lot of fun to go down there. I put on children's shows all summer long at the different libraries. The local library takes me out to play the summer reading programs. So I play children's shows, and that's a lot of fun too. I love the kids. And then I'm down there at Give Kids the World at least once a month. So it's been a great time. Orlando's been good.
So you obviously, you can tell from your beautiful name tag there, you are a Disney legend.
It was a legacy. It's a legacy.
Well, legacy, but also I was going to say Disney lists you as a legend on their own website. If you look you up on Disney's website, it says that you are a legend. So Disney gives you that title on their own. That's a legacy, name tag there. What was that like? What looking back now, or what's that like?
It was, I don't mean to belittle it all. Back in 2013, I'd never even heard of the thing, and it was brand new. It was brand new, and they said, "Hey, the manager's coming in to give you something." Okay, what do I says, "I'm all for it." So you won this beautiful blue name tag and a picture of Walt Disney. Oh, that's great. I had no idea what an honor it was. It's a peer recognition award that my peers, my other cast members, voted me into this thing. I'd never even heard of the thing, but now I'm quite appreciative, and it's an honor. I'm quite humbled, and I certainly didn't ask for it. It's my passion to entertain. It's what I love to do, and with or without this blue name tag, I would not be performing any differently to anybody.
Well, for sure. But I think that speaks volumes, though. And that's who you are. I think you come across very, as much fun as you have it's at least for me, I'm in entertainment as well, and coming down and seeing you for years, you truly enjoy what you do when you were on stage. And I mean, I call you, it's unreal. You're an animal. When you do your hour and a half first set, you do an hour and a half set, and then you're supposed to have a 30-minute break before you do another 90-minute set. And during your 30-minute break, you never take a break.
I don't take breaks. No, I never take a break. I'll do a meet and greet. I'll do a meet and greet.
You sign autographs, you take pictures, you walk around the room. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, you are. It's unreal. All right, let me ask you a fun question. Go ahead.
Walt Disney, he's got a saying. He says, "Give the people everything you can give them. Make it a real fun place to be." So that's my motto. I've even got that saying on stage with me, behind me. The first thing I do when I open up that cabinet at work is to see this motto by Walt Disney: to give the people everything you can give them. And so that's what I try to do every night. I try to leave everything I've got, heart and soul, on that stage every night. That's what I do. And it's been a great fun. And I'm supposed to go back down to Marceline in May, but I don't think the event's going to be there. It would be my second time to perform right there at Walt Disney's house. I've been upstairs and saw his bedroom and saw where he lived, and they had these events there at the Marceline Museum right outside his house. I'm supposed to be there this May 23rd. But I don't think it's going to happen because of the virus, but it'll probably be postponed. But that's a real honor to be invited out to Walt Disney's house.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, that you've been to Marceline, you're going back. And again, this may sound like a simple question. Are you a big fan of Walt Disney?
I'm an old guy. I grew up when I was a little person. Color television hadn't even been invented yet. It was a big event when Walt Disney changed on the color there. It was an event every Sunday night there at the household at 6:30 p.m. You'd turn on, Walt Disney, and there he'd be. So I grew up, watching Walt Disney and the Mouseketeers, and those movies would only come around maybe once every 3 or 4 months. So DVDs and VCRs did not exist. If you were going to see a Disney movie, you had to go down to the movie theater, and they only came around, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. So yeah, I grew up watching Walt Disney all my life, when I was a little guy, for sure.
That's so cool. Other people in the company, I read somewhere, and you tell me this is true. Are you friends with John Lasseter?
Yeah, Johnny would come to my show. I had no idea who he was. Again, I live in a bit of a bubble, and there was all this activity in the room, and John Lasseter's coming. I'd never even heard John Lasseter. I'm sorry. This was years ago. So here they all come, and I've got this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen my show. It's very audience interactive. Well, whoever he was, I was going to make sure that this guy participated in a big way. And so, I do this Ghost Riders in the Sky, where I get a group of men to get up and run around the room. Well, John Lasseter led the way, running around the room like he was riding a horse. Shout, where I get all the men to lay on the floor and do the whatever it is. John Lasseter had to get down on the floor right in front. So and then I go home and I Google John Lasseter, and here I find out who he was. So and then he came back to the show probably 8 times and brought all of his family, and it was such a thrill that he would pull his chair right up to he'd sit in the very front row, and he'd pull his chair up to my little stage. He'd put his feet on the stage, and he'd sit there and sing with his head back and his eyes closed. And it was unreal to sing all these Toy Story, Pixar tunes to John Lasseter sitting here in the front row. And then after the show, he would stay with me, and we would just sit and visit. So yeah, it was quite an honor. And he'd bring all these big heavyweights from all over the world, all the Imagineers and all these park managers. I don't even know. I don't keep up with them. It's not anything that I'm really interested in. I'm much more interested in entertaining the people that might need some help, some that might be struggling. And it's just my passion and my privilege to be able to entertain and bring people out of whatever that they're doing. And I would like to close with a tune for you right now, Peter. We wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have you. And it's a true story. If I were a rich man, with me and a two, I'd live in a penthouse with a room with a view. If I was to make it happen, dreams to come true, I wouldn't have nothing if it didn't have you. Wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have. We wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have you guys. Wouldn't have nothing. Years I have envied your grace and your charms. Everybody loves you, you know. She knows. I don't have to say it. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. It's a true story. You and me together, that's the way it should be. One without the other don't mean nothing to me, nothing to me. I don't have to say it. I both know it's true. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have. We wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have WDW News Today. Wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have you. Wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have. Woo! One more time. I need some hands rapping. I don't have to say it. We both know it's true. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have. We wouldn't have nothing if we didn't have you guys. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have. A-E-I-O-N-H. WDW News Today, we love you. WDW News Today, we love you. WDW News Today, it's true. Oh, we love you. Bye, everybody. Stay safe.
That's Yeehaw Bob, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Please,
That was so
please,
good.
please. Oh, that was so cool. Yeehaw Bob. He is, I mean, he lives up to the word legacy and legend. I will say, I know he just, he had to run, but if you want to learn more about Bob, he has original music. He's made 10 CDs, Bob Jackson Music. He's been playing live on his Facebook page. You can just look up Yeehaw Bob. That's 1 E, 2 A's. I forgot to ask him about that. I wanted to know why the 1 A and 2 A's. But yeah, oh my God. Yeehaw Bob. Guys, thoughts? Are you finally going to go see him now, Eric?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because it's not even the fact that I haven't wanted to. I've wanted to, and it's funny because I just spoke to my roommates, and I was like, yeah, we're going to have Yeehaw Bob on Party with Pete. and my roommates were like, yeah, when this is over, like, we have to go see him.
I tried to go see him once.
Yeah, I think on opening night I have to go see him. Go ahead, Allison.
Yeah, so my husband and I made it a point to, because we stayed at Riverside just for like a weekend, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go see Yeehaw Bob, and we went to go see him, but it just so happens that he wasn't feeling well that particular night, so we saw another individual instead who was very nice, super talented, but we were like, oh man, we miss Yeehaw Bob, so I still have not seen him live, but I've seen him do I mean, obviously just now, and then he did something, I think it was on Facebook a couple of days ago or a week or two ago. I saw him do a live performance, which was very nice. So I'm very excited when things start opening back up again to actually go there and see it live, because the energy of the room really just, I'm sure, just enhances everything. So I'm very excited to go see him live.
I was going to say, like, seeing him here is awesome and kind of like what I needed. But it's completely different seeing him in person. He has so many gimmicks, and I don't want to give too much away, but I'll say a few things. Like, the earlier you get there in the show, he has 2 sets, like we mentioned. He does 90 minutes, takes a 30-minute quote-unquote break, which he does not break, and then there's another 90-minute set. So he goes 8:30 to 10, 10 to 10:30, he signs autographs and takes pictures, and then from 10:30 to midnight, he sings again. So the first half is typically more like family and kids friendly, and the second half, he'll actually go into more like pop stuff. 50% of what he sings is definitely Disney songs, but like in the second half, he might do like Billy Joel and stuff like that, or, you know, the piano bar stuff. But he has so many gags and gimmicks that, like he said, like he'll make the guys will stand up and act like they're riding horses around the room. He'll have the kids do all these weird things. And then every time he does something, like he's a bald guy, but he'll take his hat off and he'll wipe his head. He goes, "Is my hair okay?" And then the whole audience will yell back, "Looks great, Bob." And then as people come into the room, he's also amazing where he'll remember where people are from and their names. So like he'll ask people as throughout the show, but it'll be like 3 hours later, and he's like, "I don't know, Sally and Jack from Cincinnati don't seem to be having a good time. I don't see their hands clapping." Like, or he'll just be like, you know, like he's like, "All right, everybody from Arkansas, everyone from New Orleans," like, and he'll just call out where people are from and point to them. It's truly remarkable, like how talented he is. And he is, like he said, he's not a spring chicken, but he is so young. He is no joke. He stands up and plays more than half of the show because he's dancing, and his piano also rocks back and forth. So his piano goes with the music. He's awesome. Dancing, he's singing, he's got his horn, and then he just has gags that he keeps doing. So like every time he says something, he might say, "Everyone do this." So let's say you just get to the room and he's like, "Oh, we have some new guests or whatever," and he'll say something, and everyone will be like, start acting like a monkey. And you're like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's just super fun to go and, you know, and like I said, I think it's a must do on your vacation. And even if you're a local, or even if you're doing a non-park stay to save money and you're going around, it costs nothing just to go to Port Orleans Riverside, go to the River Roost, get a table early because it usually fills up. I don't know what it'll be like after this coronavirus, how full his shows will be. They're normally packed where you have to wait for a table. But you can still watch from the outside, you know, from the back of the room. But it's just super fun. And the longer you watch, you see him build all of his gags and all of his things throughout the night, where, as, and, you know, of course, obviously when I'm there, I'm having a few drinks too. So like by the end of the night, you're singing, you're dancing, you're clapping. Everything is like a call and response, where he'll say something and you're like, "Blah," you know, like, and it's super fun. They take tables in Wonderland also, and I don't want to say this, you know, too publicly. I don't know if Bob is still listening, but also too, like, it's a resort. So like, let's say you brought in your own beverages from your hotel room in to watch him. You don't have to pay Disney prices. So it's, you know, it could be economical as well. But he just, as you saw, I mean, like he just makes me happy. He warms my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need to do like a staff meetup there the night that he comes.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first night. Like, oh, that'll be so good. Just to see everyone also. Like, we haven't been able to see each other besides on the screen as well. So just to see each other and just have fun that night. Yeah, I think we should.
I would love to do that. That's a perfect spot to do it too. I love both Port Orleans. Like now that French Quarter, you have Scat Cats, you know, Riverside, you got Bob. It's a fun walk. You can take the boat over to Disney Springs or from Disney Springs there. If you want to leave your car there, you know, there's so much to do over there, and he fits it perfect. I want to get a little more into it. And you can tell he's super humble. He does not like talking about what he's done or what he's accomplished.
Yeah.
He just wants to hang out and play music and laugh and have a good time. But he turned around that whole Cotton Co-op. It was just like a sleepy piano bar where a guy was in the corner playing music back in the 90s. And then he came in May of 97, and he had a dueling piano background, kind of like, you know, Piano Rob, who we had on last week from Jelly Rolls. And he turned it around. He had people singing it, and that had to be tough, doing this like quiet piano bar, to all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, well, now I'm going to play Disney music, upbeat music. I want a microphone to sing. I want everyone clapping their hands. I want you guys to act like you're on a seesaw. I want you to do the Macarena. Like, it's wild. And he made it happen. I mean, this is 23 years later.
Yeah.
He's been there old enough where his performance can have an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there no drinks named after him?
There should be. Right? I don't know. I have no idea. There should be. I'm going to invent one if there isn't.
Should.
Right? Yeah. You do it.
I feel like it has to be
Liquid
something
magic.
with like his outfit. He's got the red suspenders, so I kind of want something that either has a red floater or a red base, or a red garnish, or like the hat or something. I'll think of something. I'll get into my mixology head there. Yeah, I love Yeehaw Bob so much. A legend. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was gonna talk to him about. I tried to cover as much as I can. I know he was on a limited time. I mean, I didn't know that he lived in Norway. That's kind of cool. It's Scandinavia. Like,
yeah, right?
Like, it's got to be so crazy, like, being a musical major. And then in Ohio, and then being like, oh, we're going to move to Europe with his wife, and then comes and floats around. I don't know, too, and it's weird, and you guys probably can identify, like, I see Disney now, and I know Disney's been around since, you know, at least here in Orlando since 71. But, like, in, like, the late 80s, like, I don't have any memories of that because I was too young. But like what it was like in the late 80s, early 90s when he was floating around, you know, from 1990 to 1994, 5, where he was just like playing piano bars, where he was like at Universal and SeaWorld when they were like still relatively small, you know, and then he's playing the Diamond Horseshoe. That's super cool. So yeah, that's Yeehaw Bob, everybody.
That was so good.
I'm going to catch up with the chat here. I see everyone liked it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I just saw the request. We were going so fast. I thought I had a little more time, but he had to run. But I'm just glad I got a little bit of time with Yeehaw Bob because he's so great. What's funny is even just, you know, I wanted to talk about him a little more because I am such a fan, and I feel like he's one of those, he's like that old soul and a treasure that you don't find anymore. He makes everyone feel so good when they leave the show. I took my brother was down in January or February. I don't know. It was beginning of this year. But I took him, and he's never seen Yeehaw Bob, and he's been down once before. And I was like, you have to go see Yeehaw Bob. And he's like, oh, whatever. You know, we were going to go to a bar or something. And so him and his girlfriend went with me, and he had the best time. He was up there. He waited until the line went down to take pictures with Yeehaw Bob. Like, and my brother's like sports guy, like too cool for school. Like he's a cool guy. He's not, you know, like Disney super nerd, like, you know, older brother Pete. And he had the best time. He's like, Yeehaw Bob is my favorite person on the planet Earth. He went home. He goes, I've never been so. He couldn't stop smiling. He's like, I've never been so happy. Like, we were singing, we were dancing. You had my brother, like, you know, doing the YMCA or whatever he was doing. Like, my brother's running around the room. I'm like, this is such a good time. Lauren's taking videos of me and him side by side, acting like a bunch of idiots. I should have sent them to Kevin before today. There's tons of videos of me like singing and dancing around the River Roost over at Port Orleans. Sorry I didn't get to the request. Like I said, I was going to. Bob makes me cry. He's so amazing. Yeah, he's so warm. And again, I can't say this enough. Please go see him on one of your trips, and you're gonna get that sense. He's playing to a room of probably, I don't know, at the slowest time, 40 to 50 people, up to probably over 100, and he makes you feel like he's playing just for you, having a good time. He'll walk around the room if his line goes down. He also brings papers. He signs you custom autographs, says thanks. It's a picture of him. He takes pictures with you. It's just such an experience, and I think everyone needs to do it. It's that old school Disney experience where it's, I don't know, I love that personal interaction. That's what I'm all about. Hence, Party with Pete. Let's see what else we got here. Doesn't it feel like you're never going to take anything for granted for Disney anymore? I miss things I never thought I would. That's such a good point that Courtney brings up. Do you guys have anything like that? I have a few, but I'll let you guys talk to it first. Are there things that like you didn't realize you missed? So is there anything, I'll read exactly what she wrote, and then I'm going to word it to my head. But she said, doesn't it feel like you're never going to take anything for granted at Disney anymore, and you miss things I never thought I would? So like, are there things that you miss that you didn't realize you were going to miss? Like things that like you could take for granted, or, you know, in other words, like something where you're like, I didn't realize that this meant so much to me, or I didn't realize I love this so much because I can't have it now. Is there anything like that for you guys? By the way, I moved on to lemon.
Yeah. This is not wine, actually, by the way. This is cranberry juice my husband handed to me. I was very surprised when I was like, oh, what is this? It's like, oh, that's not wine.
I've been on a big wine kick.
In my lemonade.
There you go, Eric. Well, cheers, everyone, to your cranberry juice and your vodka. keeping the party going strong. We got another 20 minutes, so we're definitely going to keep it going. For me, just to answer Courtney's question, I honestly miss just the little things. I miss just walking into the park. So like I started watching videos and old like walkthrough videos and like pictures of us and stuff like that. And like just walking through the park and like I said, seeing those faces of people smiling or like the background music or watching a show from afar. Like obviously like I'm in Pete Carney mode most of the time. I'm up front singing, dancing. You know, you'll see me break dancing in the middle of Africa or in the middle of Epcot or taking pictures laying down in the middle of a pagoda. But it's the little things. Like I miss that stuff. Like I've gotten extremely spoiled since I moved down here. And like I said, I've been here since August for those who don't know. And being able to drive and be in a Disney park in 10 minutes or less. And just like if I'm having a bad day or if I'm stressed, just to hop in the car and just drive. And sometimes I don't even go into a park. I just drive through the property. But even just to like pop into a park, and, you know, you go late in the day, you get an early, you know, a parking spot up front, or with Tables of Wonderland, you get free valet at a lot of the resorts. So I'll just go free valet at like the boardwalk and walk into the back of Epcot, or valet at the Contemporary, and I'll walk into the Magic Kingdom just to hop in quick for a quick like half an hour to an hour. But I just miss that. Like it's like, it's super bougie and I'm so spoiled. And I know it, but man, it's like I was using that as therapy. Like if I was having a bad day, so I wouldn't like blow a top, or if I would like, or get really upset about something, just to be able to hop in the car and go over to the Animal Kingdom and like go see the animals, or you know, see what fast passes are available and be like, oh, it's I can get Everest in an hour. I want to hop in the car and go do Everest, and I'm going to grab a drink at the Thirsty River and come home. Like those are the things I miss the most. It's just like the casual visits. Yeah. And also, like, I miss cast members would be my second answer. I miss people smiling and having a good time. And, like, I know people are smiling, and it's great to see you guys smiling, and I have you guys here. But, like, just, like, that person-to-person as you walk through the park, even if you don't even say anything, just that smile. Like, seeing people smiling and in-person, living, breathing human beings is a huge thing. And it's the best. It's the friggin' best.
Well, it's funny that you said that because, yeah, like my biggest thing, and I was talking to my roommates about this, it's like the days that you just don't have anything to do kind of thing. And since we live so close and we can take advantage of that, and it's just like, you know, just going to the park for like an hour, you know, just to go and just to soak in that environment. And the same thing, like it's so funny because Pete, you initially said my answer, like, you know, just going, like, it's no, I don't hide the fact that I love the Citizens of Hollywood. I love it, but I love being able to just be there and seeing other people enjoy it as well, and enjoy the entertainment and enjoy, you know, when someone's like, when you see a kid just smile in like in a specific attraction because, you know, it's their first time or this is their favorite attraction. It's just stuff like that really, like, it's weird to think that, oh yeah, I wasn't going to miss this, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, oh shoot, like I really just miss just being there, being in the moment, you know?
No, I totally agree. And you're right. The Citizens of Hollywood, so a park I have been known to say is the worst of the four parks, Hollywood Studios. I've been spending a lot more time in because they have a lot of new attractions. They have Rise of the Resistance. They have Mickey's Runaway Railway. And since they changed their Fast Pass system where I can get on Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Slinky, now that they're not tiered out, I was starting to hang out there a lot in the last few months. And also they do have like the easiest and fastest way to get into a park if you're parking as a local. Like it's the shortest way. So I would go and literally watch the Citizens of Hollywood. Like you said, like when you were saying it, I'm like, oh yeah, like I forgot I missed that too. Like just that, like them walking, like I just leaning against a street pole and watching them talk to someone across the sidewalk that has no idea what's going on sometimes. Like they're just so confused where they're like, what's happening? And I was sitting there just grinning ear to ear. Like, this is fantastic. This is great. Yeah. I got the Hollywood music in the background. The signs are switching. Yeah, it's, and I'm watching these guys in these beautiful, you know, costumes and just messing, and sometimes not messing, but like these people have no idea what's happening. And they're like, oh, boy, guess what state you're from? And they're like, what? And they're like, don't tell us. We're going to guess what state you're from. You're from Arkansas. And they're like, no. And they're like, okay. It's always the second guess. You're from Hawaii. And I use this example because my favorite thing that ever happened was they went through like 40 states. They were like, what state did we not say? They were calling over other citizens of Hollywood. And then they get to the end. And again, they just like went up to this group of people. They never asked this group of people anything. So they get through all 50 states. And they go, you had to have said it. And they go, no, we're from Canada.
No.
Yes.
It was the best. And it was just like, oh, like stuff like that is so gold. It's gold.
Love it.
That's too good.
I feel the same way that you two do, that just physically being in the park, like when I used to have to fly down here on vacation, it was like very go. Let's get on the ride. Let's make sure we get our dining reservations. Let's make sure that we go see that show. And it was very like hurry. But now that I live down here, I'm able to really take advantage and take a look at all the details. I can look at the details. I can look at all the windows. I can read the names on the windows in Main Street. I can really listen to the music. I can smell the popcorn. I can see like families coming in, and I can tell if they've been here a million times or if this is their first time. And I kind of try to like pick them out of a crowd, and just walking, just being able to walk slowly and having that luxury to take my time and go wherever my heart desires and grab myself just a little snack. And I don't have to, rush to get like a big dinner. I can just have a snack and then go home a little bit later. And I think one of the things that I miss a lot that I didn't think I would is taking the ferry boat to Magic Kingdom from the ticket center.
TTC.
Yes. I really enjoy seeing us slowly approach the castle and seeing everybody else's reactions around and getting excited and seeing the castle and taking pictures. And like I'm at the point where I used to take, every time I would go on vacation, I would take a picture of the castle, of everything. But now I don't. So it's a big deal for me to not take pictures. I just kind of put my phone down and soak all of it in, and I can just sit there and really enjoy everything. And I kind of like, another thing that I started doing is, the like the transportation trading cards.
Yeah.
I've heard about this and I've never done it. Tell me all about this.
So I have some. I have almost all of them. I'm missing like 4. You're gonna go get them? All right. So if you go over to somebody that drives a bus or is at the monorail station or at the ferry boats or the friendships, I don't think the Skyliner has one yet. The minivans have one, and even the water pageant has a card, and they have trading cards. So I think Eric's going to show you what they look like, and it's like a couple dozen cards, and you go over to these people, the trams that take you, all the trams in the parking lot, they have cards, and each tram color has their own separate card. And on the back there's like a trivia question, there's like a fun fact about that particular vehicle that's on the card, and then maybe like one other thing. So what I've been trying so hard. There it is.
Oh, ooh, that's a cool one.
All right.
I gotta get into this. I like these little things. It's free. Anything that's free is for me.
It's totally free.
How old is
you
Little
just
Mermaid?
Go over.
Ariel, it's 16 years old. Yeah. Well, not anymore. She's probably a little bit older now. Find the Hidden Mickey profile and the changing repeating. Oh, that's cool. And it gives you fun facts. I like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very neat. And a lot of people don't realize that this thing exists. So I've been trying to collect all of them. And if I get a repeat one that I already have,
nice.
I'll find a random kid or a random family. And I'm just like, here, would you like these cards? And the vast majority of the time when I give them these cards, they look very confused. But hopefully they can look at the cards and like enjoy them and start to get into this kind of hidden gem. So that's something that I like to do. If I'm on the ferry boat, I'll ask the people there that are attending the ferry boat for the cards, and even if I have them and they're extras. I like finding like a family that has never experienced it before, and it's like an extra thing that they can look at and enjoy. Magic Kingdom.
This one's a cool
I've heard
one.
random things about it.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, because this was not even like transportation, but they have one.
Well, I mean,
love that they have one.
It's moving, and if it's moving, I guess you're transporting something.
They're transporting fun.
Chuck in the chat. Well, I mean, his name, he goes by more Beverly, but he had sitting by the fountain in Germany with a brat, a beer, and the music playing. Like that sounds like heaven right now. Like womp, bump, bump, ba-da. Like in Germany, I already like picture the music. Like it's beautiful.
That's
I miss
so
the
good.
smell. I miss the bad smell of monorail. I do too. I miss the old carpet, like this needs to be cleaned smell of the monorail. It's
so funny because Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I miss the little things. It's like when you go on a break in a relationship or you break up with someone and this is a bad way because I still love Disney, but not that you still love your ex, but even the bad things I miss seeing popcorn on the ground.
You miss the slobs of the Magic Kingdom.
I miss watching a duck choke on pretzel that's too big for its mouth. I miss all these little things.
It's funny because I've never actually I've never understood those Disney scent candles and stuff like that. This smells like this lobby and stuff like that. After this, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start buying some. Because I'm
they're great. I have a few.
If this ever happens again, I can just be like, this is Tiki Room. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I miss weird things. I miss too. Even the horticulture. I never thought I was big into flowers and stuff, but I miss the flower beds. I miss seeing just well manicured lawns. I don't know. It's all little things that
our lawn's just terrible. Can't wait to see a manicured lawn again.
I miss hearing announcements in English and in Spanish. Now.
I love that so much.
How am I supposed to learn how to say close the damn doors if I'm not in Disney?
I don't know any Spanish, but I know how to stay away from the doors. That's the only
what if I see
thing
a kid going towards whenever I see a kid trying to hail a cab and I want to say keep your arm inside. Now I know how to say it.
You just totally forgot now. Now it's just man, I don't remember.
Oh, it's so good.
Lots of miss. Kevin just messaged me, but I didn't read it. But I don't know if you're still there, Kevin. Can we show the preview for next week, or is that shot because the software? Oh, I have a lot of messages from Kevin. Hold on, let me just check. Sorry, you're seeing behind the screen.
Behind the scenes.
Can Eric show me more of those cards? Do you have more than just those? I want to take a look at some of the other ones.
Let's see here.
I don't have the minivan one. That's one of the only ones I've
that's a cool one.
Cute.
Another one. Yeah, the cool thing about the boats is that they have different boats, and then for the buses, they have different buses.
Yeah, they have different types of buses.
Yeah. It's so interesting.
Very cute.
Sorry.
Allison, you said that Yeehaw Bob played your first dance?
Yes, my first dance at my wedding was the song from Monsters, Inc. If I didn't have
cute.
you.
Oh.
No, so not him himself, but the song.
The song, yeah.
He did not play at my wedding. That's a cute one.
That's super cool. So what do? You just go up to the cast member and be like, do you have the trading card?
Yep.
Yeah, do you have any transportation cards?
I gotta do this. This sounds like fun.
It's easier / better if you try to get them early in the morning or during like that shift change, because they tend to run out. Like because they've most of them have given them out by like the late morning or early afternoon. So if you're there and it's early, you're gonna have a lot better, more of a better chance of grabbing onto some of those.
Yeah.
I miss the overpriced drinks. I don't, but I do miss drinking at Disney. Oh, you know who wrote that? Of course, it's my girlfriend, because she doesn't have to pay for them. Of course, she gets the overpriced drinks. I'm teasing. She's awesome. All right, so covering a few things, because I know Kevin just said he had to step away. So I don't know if we have the graphic, but if he comes back, we'll play it before the end of the show. Next week, as I mentioned, I've been trying to get cool guests every week. Last week, a lot of you guys like Piano Rob. This week, obviously, Yeehaw Bob, I'm a huge fan of. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Next week, we got another cool guest. Kat Cressida is a voice actress based in LA, as I mentioned. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Kevin. She's done all these characters. She is the voice of Dee Dee in Dexter's Laboratory, Jessie. She's the Haunted Mansion's bride. She's done tons of animation. Where did I put that list I just made? She has done so much. I mean, it's a very impressive resume. I'm going to get into it. And she recently just did I'm going to get into it a little bit with her. She has a lot more time than other guests. She said I can have as long as I want, so I might keep her for like a little over an hour. Because she did all this, but then she got this like really rare form of something. I don't want to get into it yet, but she overcame it. She actually lost her voice, which she's a voice actress, so like that's her everything. She had to relearn how to speak. Now she's a keynote speaker going all over the country. She just did a TED Talk, which is legit. I don't know if anyone knows what a TED Talk is, but like it is like the epitome of like public speaking and keynote speaking. So we're going to get into it with her next week. And also her father was an Imagineer, which is super cool. So growing up with a father as an Imagineer in Anaheim with Walt around. So like we're going to have tons of history. She said I can have as long as I want. I have already started doing research for next week. She's got a lot of awesome stories to tell. We're going to have some fun. So yeah, next week, you guys are getting the preview. Kat Cressida next week will probably be a nice chunk of the show, which is super exciting. If you guys want to hear us talk about certain things or certain topics or certain fun whatever here at Party with Pete, let me know. And I've been getting a bunch of emails, and thank you for everyone who wrote me. And you can write more than once if you have more ideas. My email is pete@WDWNT.com. Any ideas, suggestions, things you want to hear us talk about, questions you may have, concerns, comments, for any of us, I welcome them. Whether it's a criticism or a compliment, I'll take either one. Just want to make you guys have a better time every Thursday, especially as we're all going through this, kind of brighten things up before you go into the weekend. Remind you what day of the week it is, because I keep forgetting. When Ben said, hey, here's your code for Park Center tonight, I said, that's tonight? Weird. Also, if you are interested, I'm going to give myself a little plug. I'm trying to get more videos up from Disney, so they should be up this week. But I'm working on my YouTube channel. It's Adventures by Carney on YouTube, so go to Adventures by Carney. You can check it out on YouTube. My Twitter handle is your WDW guys. You can find me there. You guys have anything you want to plug? Your shows, your handles, your Insta, your socials, whatever.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier today, if you guys didn't hear, we did the Wolf Den on Tuesday. Next week, we're actually doing the Wolf Den on Wednesday. And Wednesday. Yeah, we're doing it Wednesday. It's going to be at 11 a.m. And you guys can find me on social media at It's eWolf. So ITSEWOLFE. Instagram. I have a Twitter. Don't really use it, but you guys can follow me there as well.
That's like, yeah, you can write me a letter via the post office. I'll get it eventually.
I don't have any shows to plug. I'm just kind of making many guest appearances on a variety of other people's shows. So that's me. I don't really have
of 20, I think 18 and 19. I was on every show, but I didn't have anything. So that was me. I was a show whore. I said, just take me, use me. But that's the way it is. And let me just say, it is. I am super excited for you to be here for the first time on Party with Pete. And Eric, thank you for returning. And of course, you both are welcome back every Thursday. I thought today was awesome. If you missed it and you just tuned in, you could totally rewatch the replay. We talked about where you'd be quarantined at Walt Disney World alone or with cast members. We talked all about. We just talked about ourselves for a little bit. We hung out with the chat, and of course, we hung out with Yeehaw Bob. He was singing for us. We were chatting. We got to know him a little bit better. It's just been a really fun show today. Again, if you don't know, you can join our WIGs, our WDWNT Interglobe Society, for as little as $2 a month. And you can get all this extra fun stuff. Also, you can give the super chat in the chat. We'll take your questions, comments, thank yous. We're doing this on our own time because we want to hang out with you guys and make your days a little bit brighter. With that being said, tonight, do we have a preview for the week, Kevin? I'm not sure if you have that readily available. I didn't put that out there. But we have a lot of fun shows coming up. There we go. So we're already on Thursday, April 9th. This is Party with Pete. Tonight at 9 o'clock, you have WDW News Tonight. That is our night show, kind of like your Jimmy Fallon, any kind of late night talk show. Lots of fun, lots of joking. You get sketches, you get bits, you get fake commercials, you get group discussions. It's our flagship show. And then tomorrow morning, tomorrow at noon, which I'm switching my time to, I have to switch to noon. You get Colleen's Crafting Corner, where they're scrapbooking. And if you want to know what you need for that, you can go to WDWNT.com and you can check out what you need for this week's Crafting Corner tomorrow at noon. Nothing too eccentric. You probably won't have to run to a store or anything like that. You probably could find the stuff around your house. But Colleen does an awesome job. And then tomorrow night, for the first time, I'm excited to see how this goes. I've been talking with Chris about maybe doing some DJ work with him because I DJ as well. But you're going to get a digital dance party with Chris Reed, Cosmic Chris Reed. I'm really excited for that. So, yeah, you can get your Friday night started right. Party with Pete. I mean, we do it at Thursday during the day because, I have a real problem. But Chris is doing it right in prime time. Friday night at 8 o'clock, Cosmic Chris Reed. So that's what you got coming up. That's it, guys. It is 2:02. This has been Party with Pete. I thank you both very much again, and thank you for everyone who watched at home. I really appreciate it. Shoot me an email, say hi, be kind to one another, wash your damn hands, stay away from each other. Let's get back to the parks. I love you all. Yeah. Peace and love. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you, Baco.